Yeah.
Hello, everybody. Welcome to yet another Industries of Titan stream. My name is Marlon Weeb. I am the video producer here at Brace Yourself Games. And today we have on comms, we have Kevin. Do you want to introduce yourself?
Yeah, I'm Kevin at Power Up Audio. We work with Brace Yourself Games on all their stuff, doing sound effects and music things and voiceover things. Not so much music things for this game. It's all Danny Baranowski holding it down, but we're doing things like, making sure his stuff behaves accurately and appropriately in game. All that stuff.
Yeah, and clicking on all the buildings feels very satisfying, that sort of thing.
Oh, well, thank you. It's a big part of the job.
It's great. And we also have Maddie.
Hello. I'm Maddie. I'm the community manager here at Brace Yourself Games.
Yes.
That's it. That's my intro.
Maddie does a lot here at Brace Yourself Games. It might sound like it always reminds me of that clip from what's that show on Apple
Mythic
TV?
Quest?
Yeah, the Mythic Quest, the community manager thing. Yeah.
Yeah. That's a great clip. I love it so much.
Yes. So yes, thank you all for joining us today. This is our official stream slot. We stream every week on Monday at 1 p.m. and so we thought for this one we might as well do one last Industry of Titan stream. And we launched a game on Steam. It's out. You can get it. We had a pretty successful week, pretty full week. Basically just watching everybody else stream the game, that sort of thing, and it's been very exciting. And we also had the contest, which was just wrapped as well. And thanks to everybody who participated in that. If you go to the Steam page on Industry of Titan, you'll see all the winners kind of scrolling through, that sort of thing. The exclamation contest no longer works anywhere anymore, so, so you don't have to do that anymore. No longer.
Yeah, you can feel free to type in, just don't expect results, that's all.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, so today on the stream, I thought we would go back to our roots here a little bit. The very first thing we streamed was this map with the baguette, the infamous baguette ship. I believe Ryan took over at the same save, but I wanted to take it over and see if we can get some rebel ships. And in the meantime, we can have some questions for Kevin and Power Up Audio and how things worked with the audio and on Industry of Titan. And as any other questions that you have regarding early access on Titan, that sort of thing. So yeah, fire away. I'm going to check to see who else is in the chat here. We got System Chalk, Belgian Waffles on YouTube here, Praetorian, hello, Chris P, a Crazy Hippie 69, nice, Shiver Warp, OTDQ, of course, is Kevin.
That's me.
Yeah, and a boss. Yeah, hello everybody and welcome. We all did. Crazy Hippie says, "Yo, did great, by the way. Wonderful game. Thanks for giving us an amazing experience." Oh, thanks, Crazy Hippie. Yeah. So let's just dive into it. Kevin's got his own emote already as well. I also want to shout. What's that? Sorry, Kevin.
It's Mike Rose at No More Robots just insisted on using my face as an emote. It's it's one of the expensive ones too. Like Twitch has the tiers of
tier 3 Kevin.
Yeah, so it's a high tier. This is it's an expensive business expense to fuel my narcissism, have my own face on Twitch, but it's worth it, I guess.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Well done. Tier 3 Kevin unlocked.
Thanks.
Love it. You can just keep calling Hippie, by the way. Okay.
Oven.
Sorry, what was that?
I said, oh yeah, we named it the oven.
Yes, the oven, because the baguette, the baguette comes out of the oven. Makes sense, right?
Yeah. Snowing Fate in the Steam chat asks, when the game comes out of early access, will the game's price increase? We currently don't have any plans to increase the price.
Yes. Okay.
What are you building, Marlon? What's step one?
That's a great question. Okay, so excuse me.
The power bar?
Yeah, we got the power bar over here. That's because it was the first thing we built to give us some energy. It's got our fuel processors and some energy devices in there. Yeah, we're building it right near this sinkhole, which is, I think it produces the most zethane in the game. Yeah. I think what we need to do is we need to build some more ships so we can go out and... So there's two ways we can do this. We can either build more ships to go get the rebels, or we can do the thing where we expand our territory and just dismantle them from the other side. Either way is valuable. Hippie says, yo, is it wicked hot where y'all are? It's like 100 degrees here and it's awful. Yeah, it's very hot here too. I'm not too good at Fahrenheit, but it's like 38 Celsius here. I'm not sure what that is.
90 to 100 Fahrenheit or something.
100, yeah, the high is 41 today, and that's in Fahrenheit 105.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, we're in Vancouver. Yeah, we're definitely hitting the heat wave. But it's nice. It's pretty chill right now in the office. We got some AC here, which is nice. How about you guys, Kevin and Maddie?
Yeah, I got AC here. It's all right.
Yeah,
Nice.
I also.
I'm on like the third floor of my place, so my wife is being very kind to me right now downstairs, freezing in the bottom floor. The top floor, all the covers like going down towards the bottom, but it's all right.
How's your
Nice.
puppy?
Good problem to have. Yeah, she is staying cold. Also, I have a little black Woodle dog, and yeah,
She's
goes
the
in the sun.
cutest.
Just goes up in temperature like 10 degrees instantly when she walks outside. So we're being really careful. And she's a puppy, so she doesn't really know what hot is yet. She doesn't know what the sun does. So she just like tears around the yard running. We're like, you can't do that right now. You're gonna die. So it's been a lot of trying to temper her energy where we can. But yeah, she's great. Thanks.
I always when you got your puppy, I always thought it was funny because your wife makes those cartoons, and when she draws your beard, it's like those little squiggles. And then I was wondering if you got the dog just so that she can just keep drawing squiggles. It's just like all squiggles.
And she's just capitalizing on what she knows, basically. Just does that very well.
I love that. But yeah, here we are. We're playing Titan, which we've been doing all week. Yeah, how have you guys felt about the launch so far? Any highlights?
Maddie, go for it.
It's been crazy. This is my first game launch, and so it was a really fun experience getting to like plan out all of the marketing beats and working with everyone to get this up and running. I messaged Ryan, our CEO, and Andy, our lead game designer, like the day before our launch, being like, is it okay if I press the green button? And they were like, yeah, sure. So I got to press the green button, which was actually really exciting. There's like
That's awesome.
3 steps to it. You have to press the green button, press another green button, and then type in a phrase to make sure that you actually want to launch the game. But yeah, it was cool. Overall, the launch, I think, was incredible. We got to the front page of Steam. We also became a global top seller, which is insane, especially for an indie early access game. And then we were also, thanks to everyone, a top viewed stream on Steam for the entire week. So I don't know how much more successful we can get than that.
Yeah,
it wasn't just a global top seller. It was a #1 spot for a bit there.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
No small feat. I'm jacked.
Yeah. We got a lot of reviews, and there are a fair number of like negative ones, but the good news is that most of the negative reviews are saying like, hey, this game is great, we just want more content. And so we have a lot of content planned, which is great. So I'll take it. People are enjoying what we have so far, and they just want more.
Yeah.
The worst best friends comments, what a great game. I went into a pet store where the clerk was playing this, and I asked him about it. Glad that I did, because that's all I want to do is play this game.
Wait, what?
Well, thanks, store clerk.
What pet store?
Yeah, what pet store is
That's
this?
awesome.
That's
Very nice.
amazing. Oh no. Oh, I'm running out. I am. I need more power. Need more pylons.
Yeah, this is not my first game launch. Not even close. Yeah, it's really exciting to hear that kind of thing, though, Maddie, because it's like I've kind of forgotten. I have, to your credit, I've never pressed the green button, so there is that.
I actually felt really bad because Andy later was like, "I've actually never pressed the green button either." I was like, "What? You should have said something then, because this
No.
definitely you deserve to press the green button on this. This is your baby." So
Like two next on one mouse button, just like lean in there and both you click together in concert.
I know that's the downside for sure of working from home right now.
Yeah.
It would have been nice to. I'd assumed that he'd pushed the green buttons before because this is also not his first rodeo.
Yeah, that's right.
But yeah, so I'm sorry, Andy.
It's very cool though. Like, I mean, even like myself. So I'm with Power Up Audio, like I said, and we are third parties. So we work with a bunch of different developers. And before this current company, my co-founder Jeff Tangsock, him and myself worked at another third-party audio studio, and we worked on together something like 300 games combined. Like, it's just ridiculous, kind of shoveling the work out the door kind of thing. But it's not very often, and it hasn't been very often in my past that like I've been involved in or even been aware of launch events as kind of elaborate and involved as something like this. So it's super, super cool to see like this happening specifically. And with all the people in the Steam chat, and actually before the stream began, we were commenting on how fun it's been, how wonderful it's been to see kind of the community spring up around like the Titan Steam chat. It's so cool to see that. So yeah, it's not a given at all that all the kind of bullet points that Maddie mentioned happen for a launch like this. So it's been really, really awesome.
Yeah, it's been good. Yeah, Kevin and I have been working on trailers together for I don't know how long, since Necrodancer days, right?
Was it the first one? Was it Necrodancer Early Access?
I think so, yeah.
Or was there something before that? I'm trying to think.
No, I think Necrodancer.
I'd get you and Kurt Gardner mixed up back in the day. Like, who's working on what?
Yeah. No, I was Necrodancer for sure. Yeah, that was like one of my first trailers I've ever made. So, yeah,
Man.
Off to a good.
Great trailer.
Yeah, exactly. I still think it's wild that the first trailer that I ever made was for Ryan, and here I am like working full time now for him, like 7 years later.
Those seeds.
What's that?
Yeah. You're planting those seeds,
Yeah, I guess so. I had no idea. No.
Oh, rip.
What is happening with it? Okay, this has been happening a bit with our game computer. It's just like wants to restart every once in a while. So yeah, we'll just get to. Luckily, Titan is very good at autosaving, so we just have to type in our very secret password here and reboot the game. This is not a game bug. I will repeat that. This is just our computer. But yeah, I don't know. I didn't even know I was planting seeds when I was doing the Necrodancer trailer. I was just like, I don't know, sure, yeah, I'll try it. Turns out that that became a whole career. It's wild.
Yeah, I think to this day the Necrodancer trailer is still getting a ton of views on our YouTube channel.
Oh really?
Yeah,
that's awesome.
Yeah, I think the early access trailer is my favorite one we've ever worked on. Like,
yeah, that one,
trailer period of Power Up. It's extremely good.
Oh wow. Okay.
The most recent Titan one's pretty good too. I'm not just saying that because it's a Titan stream. The most recent Titan trailer, the launch trailer on Steam, was pretty sick. I think it's my favorite of the ones we've done for Titan thus far.
Yeah, that one turned out pretty well. Yeah.
I mean, you're making a rhythm game, Necrodancer. It's like, how do you not make it hype? It's so cool.
Yeah, no, it's been definitely been an honor being able to work with you and Power Up Audio. It's makes my job a lot easier, and makes everything sound so much better. Obviously.
Oh, cheers!
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of funny with this whole launch week because I'm not sure if some folks in the chat might recognize our name, Power Up Audio, from helping it out at the Games Done Quick events in the past. We handled the audio for broadcast for Summer Games Done Quick for 5 years running there. And I mean, that event, it's like 7 days straight, 24 hours every day, and just nonstop shuffling people, like swapping people in, swapping people out, as far as, you know, the interviews and the runners and the hosts and the commentators and everything. It's nonstop. So as we were kind of gearing up for the Titan launch event, I was like, oh man, it's like kind of getting feelings of like GDQ again. It's like, yeah, it's gonna be nonstop all week contest, man. Let's do it. So that's very cool. It's funny.
Yeah. When we were first constructing like our launch plans, we had originally planned to stream like live stream, I think, for almost 24 hours of the day.
Oh yeah.
Which I think would have been absolutely insane. Yeah, we scaled it back, obviously.
I was in that conversation and in my head I was like, put me in, coach, like I can do this. We've been there.
I'll take the 4 a.m. shift. Let's go.
Yeah, with the GDQ events, it'd be like we have, you know, myself and my co-founder Jeff and you know, some of the guys from Power Up like Cole and Joey. Had some fellas even fly out and help us out here and there. But it was like, who is taking the 10 p.m. to 4 a.m. shift? Who's taking the 4 a.m. to 10 a.m. shift? And you just like, those are the only hours we had to be there. Otherwise, just helping out where we can. But it was very, yeah, like you just, someone else gets to the hotel, the, you know, the venue hotel, and it's like, well, night guys. It's like, goes to bed. You need to, you know, be up in 5 hours. So yeah, it's quite an event. So I'm kind of glad we didn't do that.
Yeah.
For the Titan event would have been a little bit much to ask the team, probably, but yeah, for like questionable returns too. It's like, well, we need to be here all the time.
Yeah.
But I think in the end, I think our approach worked pretty well.
Yeah,
I'm getting a call. Sorry, I'll be right back.
Oh yeah, no worries. Yeah, I definitely think that what we ended up doing was the right call. Because even that is like, I don't know, just you know, the excitement of launch and that sort of thing, and watching streams all the time, stuff like that can be exciting and tiring, you know, like it already was like taking quite a bit of energy. And I think it was also because like I had personally worked a bit more than maybe I wanted to before the launch, getting the trailers done, that sort of thing.
Of course, there's so much like work, not even on the launch event itself, but like just on the launch and the project proper.
Yeah, how did that go for you guys? Because you guys, like, did you have to? It seemed like you guys were kind of on top of it.
Yeah, it wasn't too bad. It was honestly, as far as like Steam launches go, and mind you, like early access, we had been in early access for some time, and you know, a lot of work was done as it was already. But as far as launches go, it's often very you know, projects have a tendency to be worked on until the deadline, like right up until it. You know, I recall I played trumpet, right? I played piano and trumpet, and in junior high, my school, my school band, my junior high band class went to Disneyland for a band trip, and the Disney orchestra conductor led a workshop there, and I'll never forget this little lesson he taught us. He said, so if I said. He said, so in front of you sits a piece of music you've probably not seen before. Now, if I said you have 6 months to learn this piece of music, how long will it take you? And everyone's like, probably 6 months. He goes, how about 1 month? I said, yeah, it'll probably take the month to learn it, sure. He says, well, you have 1 minute, so get to work. And it was just such a good lesson in like, well, you really need as much time as you have, kind of thing, right? So if you just blast through the hard stuff first and try and sight read the rest, that's probably, you know, doable on first look, then you're good to go. And yeah, after a minute, he's like, and we started off, and it was fine. You know, we got through it. So with events like that, with launches like this, yeah, it's like, I mean, Brace Yourself does a great job of kind of, I mean, speaking as a guy who's worked with a variety of developers, Brace Yourself in particular does a great job of kind of holding down, you know, the important dates and communicating things like, no more features added after this date, and no more code changes after this date, no more content, no more audio fixes after this date, and things are kind of, it's like this rolling cascade of deadlines, and as a result, everyone knows what they have left for time, and there's no questions to ask, and you you work within those deadlines and you get it all done. So on the whole, yeah, I was very happy with kind of where we ended up in the end. It was awesome.
Nice. Yeah, I mean that kind of I feel like we've learned a lot. I feel like at the beginning of Industries of Titan, but like when we were on Epic, that was a bit looser, and I feel like having that monthly cadence of doing updates every month really helped us hone in on how to do that kind of, having the deadlines and the cutoffs, that sort of thing. We've gotten so much better at that, and I really appreciate the team's hard work and stuff that
totally
has gone into that.
The community as well, really. Like the community is seeing those updates and then feeling empowered to make further requests and knowing what kind of, well, maybe not always knowing entirely what's reasonable to request, but knowing what is possible, what might get added to the game eventually. It's led to like a good relationship with our player base too. So on the whole, it's been excellent.
Yeah, 100% agree. 100% agree. Oh, oops! Moobot's still telling everybody that we have a $100 Steam gift card giveaway. That is not true.
We do not. Moobot, please. Someone ban that.
Forgot to turn that one off. Bad bot.
I see some Alberta folks in the Steam chat, by the way. What's up? I'm from near Edmonton over here, rural Alberta boy.
Ooh, nice.
On the mic. Shout outs to rural Alberta. Let's go.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. Same here. I'm from Saskatchewan, and I used to go to Alberta all the time for family gatherings and stuff, so very familiar.
Oh, sure, yeah. Go to Alberta to get away from Saskatchewan, right?
Hey, it's not so bad. Everybody gets Saskatchewan a bad rap. It's not so bad there. It's not so bad.
I say that, but I came to BC to get away from Alberta, so no sweat.
Yeah, fair enough. We both were moved here to get away from the prairies.
Fled the prairies.
Hello, I'm back.
Hello.
Welcome
back.
It was my mom. She was like, "I'm in the area and I have donuts. Do you want some?" So of course I had to say yes.
That's definitely worth jumping off a call for. Yeah, that's higher priority for sure.
Is your mom making the rounds in Vancouver right now? Can I put my name under the?
That's right.
Honestly, she probably would if I asked her to.
System Chalk wants your mom to join the broadcast. Honestly.
She left already, but
okay.
Otherwise, I'd put mom on the broadcast.
That'd be so cute. What kind of donuts? Which kind of donuts you get? Do you get bow creams?
No, she gave me two. I think one's just like a regular old fashioned, and then there's one with sprinkles on it.
Oh, well, that's pretty good too, though. Nice.
Belgian Waffle says, "I bought the game, and often I got some C&C vibes. Command and Conquer, yeah, totally." There's for sure some. I mean, it's not like strictly RTS. It's not typical as like an RTS game goes. Build your units and send them out. But from the audio side of things, I can say there are for sure some RTS kind of inspirations taken as far as maybe not in terms of the soundscape, kind of how things sound artistically, but rather how things are like the approach we took to certain sounds. So like how they play back. A big one being that the game, like Titan as a game, is very interface based. Of course, it's a lot of buttons. Mm-hmm. Like right now we can see like 30 buttons on the screen. There's a lot of buttons.
Information.
There's a lot of information to convey. It's a lot of feedback we're hoping to give. Maybe not so much like informing the player of things and helping to inform their behavior, but even just saying, yeah, you clicked here, good job, we saw that, thanks. And given it's so easy to throw a button sound on everything you can click on in the game and call it a day, but we're hoping to be a little more unique and a little more varied in all the different kind of articulations you hear as you click around the interface. And one of those things, I mean, even the buildings are kind of arguably like buttons. You click a building and the building pane pops up, right? So with like games like StarCraft and things like that, Command and Conquer, oftentimes you'll like select a building and you kind of get a sound that's like, oh, it's the sound of the building when you select it, like as if you were standing there or something. So with this game, that's the approach we took as well. But both the devices inside as well as the buildings in the city view, when you click them, it's not like it's a sound coming from the building from our current camera perspective, but rather it's played in the sound is played in what's called 2D, meaning it plays without any kind of attention given to perspective or orientation. Just plays the sound, period. Just plays it out your speakers, and the sound it plays is as if you were standing there, in the building, in the storage facility, or in the turbine or wherever, and what that might sound like there. And it helps as well just to build a little more of the world out too, because of course we don't go inside of some buildings, but the sound offers a little bit of perspective as far as like what it might sound like inside. So yes, plenty of RTS kind of cues taken from RTSs, even though the gameplay might not be quite one-to-one.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the all the like UI button clicks and stuff. It definitely feels very, very good.
Yeah, me too.
The audio.
There's more of those on the way. We had a request for
more.
Yeah, if you click that auto currency check mark at the bottom middle of your screen there, Marlon, those various minerals, 1, 2, 3, isotopes, 1, 2, 3.
Oh yeah.
All the same sound. It's no good. We need unique sounds. So I'm on it.
Nice.
Like my job tomorrow. I'm making unique resource tier sounds. There you go.
Nice.
There's so many subtle audio cues in this game that I think don't get enough attention, but really, really make it feel so complete.
Well, that's very kind. But there remains work to do. Plenty more. One of the things that I'm hoping to, I know the team in general is hoping to add more or put more time into in the future for a future update is the voice notification system. Because right now it's like, device complete, device complete, device complete. It's kind of,
right.
Yeah, we know, lady. It's just not really,
yeah.
It's not super informative. So we're hoping to be a little more granular and nuanced in terms of what the notifications actually are. And it's maybe a bit wish listy right now. I won't make promises, but I'm hoping that we can do something that will allow players to like pick and choose what they even want to hear too. That's kind of one thing we're concepting right now. So players, much like players might customize their UI in certain games, like what panes, what buttons they even want to see, what information do they want to have access to. It's kind of similar. It's like, well, what do you like? Do you want to know if like your waste is nearing capacity? Because that important information to you. Do you want to know that your influence is nearly maximum and you should be spending that? These kind of things will help. Just there's so many things to manage in a game like this. So having a little bit of an assistant, almost like this UI voice being like, hey, by the way, you told me to tell you when you're low on credits, and that's right now. So having a little more, not just feedback for things like, hey, your waste receptacle finished building, but also informing little bits of advice here and there. Hopefully, I'm confident. I say hopefully. We already recorded a ton of it.
Oh, nice.
These lines already exist in like the wise banks. We just haven't had time to put them in the game yet. So we're getting there.
That would be really nice. Definitely make the advisors feel more like advisors too.
Yeah. Yeah, System Chalk wants an audio alert with the advisor scream, "Oh my god!"
Who would that be?
Who would that be?
Einar.
Einar? Yeah, exactly. I feel like maybe Ayana, maybe.
She does seem like the one who would say that the most.
Yeah. Or I wonder if System Chalk referring to the what movie is that? Troll 2? Is that the one you're referring to? Oh my god. If you know that meme, it's really good. Yeah. We have a bad movie night here at BYG and we watch Troll 2 and it is it's bad, but in a very entertaining way.
They're good bad movies.
Yeah, good bad movies, yeah.
Yeah. We have a question in Steam chat from Alantara. How do you...
Let's go.
How do you guys avoid burnout? Is the month between updates enough time?
Ooh, good question.
Go for that then.
I mean, we kind of talked about this a little bit earlier when Kevin was talking about how BYG is very good at about scoping and making sure that we lock builds before, a week before, sort of thing. But again, that's something that we've learned over this last year. Like, definitely the first couple ones we did were very we left things right up to the last minute, that sort of thing, and that's when things can get pretty stressful. But now if you have somebody, we have somebody, Matt, who's like a good producer. I mean, Andy does a lot of this work too, but if you just scope exactly for what you need to do and make sure that you don't do any more than that, and then make sure that you lock your builds, that can really make sure that everybody's only doing their 8 hours and not doing any more. So that's been very helpful, and it has the knock-on effects too. So it helps with the team who's working on it, but then because for myself and Maddie, who are on the production team, having locked builds helps too, because like I need a locked build that I know that will look good in a trailer, sort of thing. So I need that build locked so that I know that everything that's in there is going to be that I can show, sort of thing, right? So having that locked build helps us too, and then I can make sure to get my portion of things done on time. And we have things like we have things like Epic requires assets a week in advance too, so that pushes things back and stuff too. But
there were definitely. Oh, sorry, you go, Kevin.
I was gonna say, and Marlon is not the end of the chain there as far as like the work remaining. It's Marlon then has to get the work done sent to me. You're like, hey, is the audio done in this thing? So it's like making sure the game is stable and looks beautiful and is not broken in some way, and then also has time to like capture footage and then edit the video and then give it to me so I can do the audio. So it's
that's right.
Yeah, the knock-on event effect is certainly very real. And I can say as well that the team on the whole, I mean, as a guy who's worked with a variety of teams, I can say that Brace Yourself is very good about having a meeting and saying at the end of the meeting, just so everyone knows, if you do feel your workload is too big and you'll need to work overtime, let us know. We'll talk about it and figure it out and find ways to scope back or cut down or whatever. So yeah, it's certainly, burnout is a very real risk for sure. Mm-hmm. But as long as everyone's always kind of aware of that risk and is happy to work through it together, then it's certainly mitigable.
Yeah, I really appreciate how much it is part of the culture here to just like no crunch. If we could avoid crunch entirely, we would. I mean, it always happens a little bit, but it's never one of those things that goes on for weeks, sort of thing. It's usually like a day here and there, especially before a big deadline. At least for me, I don't know.
If people are working a lot of overtime, that's viewed as like a failure to the company, basically, and we try to address that and figure out ways to stop doing it going forward.
Yeah, I guess the kind of concise answer to your question, Olon Torah, is regarding, is the month between updates enough time? Well, if it's not, then we've been too ambitious, right? So it's about making realistic goals on what can be added in a month, and then if that's if it's realistic, then no problem at all.
Yeah. There are definitely people who I think feel that our progress is slower than they'd like, and that's understandable. But it's really, really important to us that we don't work overtime and that our people don't feel burnt out. So we'll take as long as we need to, basically, to get to where we're going.
Yeah.
Oh, shouts to Arcesis in the YouTube chat. Hey guys, I like your game. I bought it on Epic before its launch. Nice updates, by the way. Hey, cheers.
Nice.
Thank you for the support. Appreciate that.
Yeah, we've done. Wow, from where you will know this Arcesis, but it's like you will know from where we launched it to where it is now. Whoa, it's such a huge difference. We had so much, in the stability alone is amazing. As someone
huge shout out. Sorry, shout outs to Streamline, who we've been working with, and they've been doing a lot of work on optimization and some other things with us on Industries of Titan. They're absolute gems. We love them a lot. Sorry, I interrupted you. Please keep going.
No. I was just gonna say, for me, the stability has been the biggest part, because as someone who plays the game generally just to capture footage, the stability was kind of the most tricky thing to work with initially, because when I'm capturing footage, I'm often like setting up a scene and saving the game and then reloading the game over and over and over and over to try to get the shot that I want. And initially, it was tricky. The first couple updates, but now that we've had a couple updates, like the last trailer that I made it's in record amount of time because of how stable everything was. Yeah, it's just been awesome. System Talk, we don't give you access to dev tools to set up your shots. Oh yeah, there's dev tools. Yeah, I still cheat. I still cheat like crazy. Yeah. I do. We have tools such as what we got, like ways to give me infinite resources basically, so that I could just kind of like place buildings around, just so I can get something that looks good.
It's still time consuming though a little bit. Like it's not like it's not like a paint tool. You can just like go and rotate and yeah, it still takes a bit of time. The game still requires you to like have resources and bring those resources to the spot where you're building the thing. Like there's all these things that are kind of, it helps streamline the process, but it's still going to be a little bit time consuming. So even with those dev tools, if the build A is like crashing, for instance, like that kind of thing is not going to, no dev tools will help your game not crash.
Yeah, exactly.
It's important to be stable and solid.
I wonder if it would be interesting to stream using our dev tools one day. Would that be allowed?
I wonder if I don't know. I feel like maybe we could try that. We did that with the Phantom Brigade one, but there it makes it like with Phantom Brigade it makes a bit more sense because people will want to capture footage.
Yeah,
I don't know. It's a game that is a little bit more conducive to like capturing footage because you can like get the camera right in there with the units and that sort of thing. So we did a stream where it was like, this is how you use the game to like capture footage kind of thing, which I think a lot of people appreciated. But yeah, I'm not too sure. If we did it for Titan, it'd be basically just be like, here's all the things that you don't have access to, kind of thing.
Yeah, a bit like,
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
not for you.
Yeah, showing off.
The era of cheat codes is past,
yeah, exactly. What am I doing here? I'm just doing a bunch of different stuff. Setting up some defenses. The only thing, so in the game, the only node that I've seen is over here. The only mineral node is right here. Look at this. This is terrible. This is a terribly placed mineral node.
It's really bad.
Because I can't actually access. I bought a mine and I was going to mine it, but the only place I can mine it is like right there, in the water.
Oh yeah. Oh no.
Yeah. So I can't get it unless I like make a road that goes all the way around. That could be fun. Having a really long road.
Yeah. Yeah. It looks like you got to go around that way.
Yeah, I know that in the future, or I shouldn't say I know. I know there are rumblings of in the future we were hoping to do more with like the lakes. I almost said water. I don't think it's fair to call it water. It's just whatever those lakes are made up of. As far as things like building bridges or building like terraforming things, or there's a variety of things we've kind of talked about looking into in the future, and hopefully that like this is a perfect example of the kind of map on which those abilities would be very helpful. So just trying to further, make this experience like a little more unique each time you play. This lake actually matters as far as where it's spawned, and introduces new problems to solve. Yeah,
and the right now the best part about the lakes is that I learned from Matt is that you just use the lake to blow your pollution over it because nobody can live there or whatever. So you just blow all your pollution over the lakes. Oh, Andrew from the YouTube. Wow, okay, now I feel really dumb. He just says, upgrade the mining distance. Yeah, done. Okay, we're doing it.
Problem solved.
Problem solved. Thank you.
The Worst Best Friends on Twitch is asking, what are some big challenges that you faced / are facing during current development?
Ooh.
I got some highly technical ones. If you want to deep dive that.
Yeah, go for it,
Do it.
Kevin.
Do you have a ship now, Marlon?
Do I have a ship? I got one right here.
Yeah, do you have a ship? Can you just go inside for a second? So the gist with this view, if you can imagine when there's a second ship you're fighting against, the second ship appears in the right view there, like the right side of the split screen. And also realize the split screen is not 50-50. That dividing line is not, right beneath the word combat, for instance. It's like it's a bit to the right.
Mm-hmm.
It's a bit 60-40 kind of thing. So that's all. You can leave here now. So just everyone who's watching, keep that in your brain. Just keep that fact in your brain. We'll move forward. So in audio, when you're working in games, there is something called a listener, and the listener is kind of like the audio equivalent of a camera. So the camera, like right now, we have this kind of window into the game world we're looking at right now. We see the city, of course, right in front of us. So that's the camera. And in some games, it makes sense for the listener to be in the same position as the camera. So a game like a first-person shooter, for instance, your camera like is your face kind of thing. So it makes sense. Your eyes and your ears are on the same relative spot in 3D space. But for a game like, let's say, World of Warcraft, or like a third-person game like that, where the camera is actually further back from the character, it might not make as much sense for the listener to be on the camera in that case, because let's say there's an audio source near the camera but not near the player. It wouldn't make a whole lot of sense, or as much sense perhaps, in that moment to hear like more of the thing next to the camera, because it's not really relevant to what the player's like caring about in that moment. So it leads to these kind of problems. They lead to a lot of kind of the invisible work that audio does, where if things just sound right, no one's going to acknowledge it. No one's going to come to me on Twitter and be like, "Yo, sweet listener placement." Like no one's going to say that, right? So, anyways, as far as the city view goes, the listener is actually hovering directly above the target of the camera. So right now it's hovering above like that command center about there, or wherever the middle of the screen is over time. And the reason for that is that if you can picture, if it was on the camera, if you were to kind of like pull away and like see the camera floating in the air, pointing at the ground, kind of 45 degrees on or whatever it is, and the listener on that too, and if you draw a point from that position in the sky to the ground directly beneath it, that distance straight down is actually shorter than like the hypotenuse of the right triangle formed, like pointing at the target. So the result here is like pointing at the target versus pointing at the ground directly beneath is farther. And therefore, if things are making noise, they'll appear quieter. So what the result in that case is things like not even in your field of view, things like beneath the camera pane that just happen to be like beneath the camera would appear louder. You'd hear those the most, but it makes no sense because you can't even see those things. So why does the player care about that? So there's a lot of kind of tricky problems to solve with that kind of thing. So the listener is actually floating above the target, pointing straight down, so that the thing the player is focused on specifically is the thing that's loudest in the soundscape. So it's
oh wow,
yeah, that's pretty crazy. So now that's the easier part of it. The more technically challenging thing is in the ship view, like we were just seeing earlier. And in the ship view, there's actually two cameras. So now the question is, well, what do we hear? Do we have a listener that hears both these things at once? Do we have like two listeners separately? And so the answer was two listeners. And this problem got solved like right before Steam launch. It was kind of a problem for a while during early access. We just couldn't fix it, and we were just dealing with it during the previous launch time. So the gist is that if you can picture two listeners pointing at two sources, we have a natural like left to right kind of panorama we're hearing from both those listeners, right? Your left ear, your right ear. Both of them hear a left and right ear, basically. And if you take, it's almost like you imagine you had two heads, but only one brain. So you have like two ears hearing two different environments, but your brain's perceiving them as like one environment. It's like they're stacked. It's just like one sum total of all the audio sources in those two heads environments, right? So not very helpful.
Amazing.
So instead, we had to like pull in the left channel at the left side of the panorama of the stereo field, pull in the left side of the right listener, and pull in the right side of the left listener. So we have these kind of two different stereo fields that fill out the full panorama. So you have kind of like 60% of the stereo field is the left side, and 40% of the stereo field is the right side. And as a result, if you see something in the middle of the screen fire or like explode or something, it sounds like it's in the middle, even though it's to the right of the left listener.
What?
Oh my god.
So, like I said, it's a technical rabbit hole to jump down there, but It's
Damn.
like all those kind of things that generally people don't really think about, and they shouldn't think about. Like, this is our job to just make it sound right, and so they can focus on the ongoing battle, right? No one should be thinking like, oh, where's that sound coming from? Weird, because that's going to be interfering with their success or their probability of success.
So is this
for the long-winded technical explanation? But that's the gist of that's by far the biggest challenge we had so far was doing that.
Is this something that you had to figure out as you did it, or did you just know you knew like the general idea, but it was difficult to implement?
Yeah, I mean, it's often... So I have worked in isometric view games before. We did a game called Tooth and Tail with Pocket Watch Games previously, which is like arcade RTS in a world of Animal Revolution. And so we already had the whole kind of float the listener over the target of the screen. That was a problem we'd solved years ago, just for Power Up Audio at least. However, the dual listeners thing, the split screen view, is a bit of a different problem to solve, and it's particularly problematic because it is only a single player game right now. It's not like you're hearing, it's not like you're playing with your buddy who has the right side of the screen, you have the left side of the screen. Like it's only you, and it's important to hear all the things from the right places in space. It should just sound right. So yeah, Maddie, it's kind of like you just have a general concept of, oh, well, this thing is in the middle of the screen, therefore I should hear it from the middle. Now, how the heck do we do that? Like, how do we make it sound like it's from the middle? So yeah, and the solution is kind of simple, honestly. You just turn down the right channel, because then what happens is your brain naturally hears more to the left, and it's sort of like it just shifts over the whole stereo field, even though all we did is turn down the right side. That's it. So it's but there was math involved to make sure we turn down enough so the stereo field ends up in quote unquote like the right place. Yeah, it's a lot of just theorizing and sort of making, doing some tests and doing some math, and it all works out in the end, ideally.
Yeah, wow. That sounds pretty mathy. I didn't realize audio stuff could be so mathy. I thought
there
it
was
just
math. I assure you. There's definitely math. Yeah, I think the right channel's turned down like 8.4 dB or something like that. I can't recall specifically.
Wow.
Who'd have thought?
Who thought?
Yeah. What are the challenges you face, Maddie? Is it is it negative reviews?
I mean, probably. A lot of what I was doing over the last week during launch was responding to negative reviews. And so on Steam, what I would do is I would filter by negative reviews, which means the only thing I would see was the negative reviews. And we got a lot of really glowing comments. So, Bahar.
I got this. Keep going. Oops, that was not what I meant to do. Sorry.
No, it's all good. Yeah, so it is mainly an issue for me of just like balancing my own mental state and trying to remain positive. So I think overall it's been great and the launch was fantastic, but that would be my main struggle. But if I could probably comment a little bit on other design, what's the word? Problems that we've faced. I'm not a programmer or a designer, but I do work closely with the programmers and designers, as well as receiving community feedback. So I don't know the specifics, but I can probably talk about what we want to work on specifically over the course of the next few months from what we've heard from the community. And I actually have a Steam community post going out soon, later today, that will outline this again. So if you want to read about that, that'll go out soon. But mainly,
nice.
The things that we wanted to address and the things that we heard, they can kind of go into probably 4 main categories, which are the tutorial, ships and combat, waste management, and overall balance. Tutorial-wise, this is going to be tough, and it's going to be a constant just adjustment as we continue to add features throughout development. And that's just the nature of early access. But as it stands, the tutorial is long. It's very long, and we're constantly trying to figure out like what is enough information and what is too much information, and also what is too little. If you have too much information, players are going to just kind of zone out and just be overwhelmed by everything going on. So we do want to be able to explain some information like the UI and just visually. But there are some people who I think, because the tutorial is so extensive, they think that the tutorial will have all of the information. So it is a constant balance that we're going to have to make. And it's one of the most helpful things that you can give us feedback on in general, just like what is confusing to you, and that way we can address it, whether in new tutorial lines or in the UI and tooltips. One of the things, we actually already have some additional tutorial going to be added in the next patch about Zethane and fuel, because we realized that it didn't tell you explicitly without having to call Ayana that Zethane comes from sinkholes and crevices. And so we found that a lot of people were building fuel fabricators and stuff just all around their city, and they would build a lot of them in a single location, which would drain the Zethane really, really quickly, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's one of the things we are wanting to address, and we think will make things a lot less confusing for people. But yeah, the tutorial, there's a lot of things in general that we want to continue to refine and fine-tune. Refining, for example, is one of them. And another one is just ships and combats in general. And speaking of,
it can be very tricky to like. It can be very tricky to, like, when you're working on a game and you're just so close to it for so long, to accurately figure out what needs tutorializing specifically. Yeah. It can be a challenge. So yeah, even I expect that we'll be continually refining the tutorial throughout early access, and kind of picking and choosing like what even needs to be spoken about and what could be relegated to, like, if you manually call the advisor, they might tell you something. It's kind of like, oh, a helpful tip, but not imperative to know. It's so like all that Zethane stuff, for instance, if you call Ayana directly, she does talk about Zethane things occasionally, but it's like, it's just not in the default tutorial, like the linear sequence of tutorial steps you get as a new player. So yeah, it's I think, like, right, yeah, I'll play it here. Check that out. I have a line right here. We're playing it.
Whoa, Founder! Your fuel fabricators are way too close to each other.
Proof. It exists. So
nice.
It exists.
There you go. Just needs to be presented in a more effective way. That's all.
Yeah, in the linear tutorial. So yeah, that's one of the things that we want to focus on. Ships and combat in general, we've received a lot of feedback on, particularly having a blueprint mode. I think that is like the number one comment that we've received all week is, hey, ships are cool, but I don't want to build every single one from scratch anymore. So that's something that we want to include, is being able to plan out efficiently what your ships look like, and then being able to easily replicate those ships so that it's less time consuming for one. So you can look forward to that. Waste management is also another one that we've received feedback on. We have some balancing in the works for that. And we are also reevaluating the logic on how waste jobs are created and how we can also improve the AI to be more efficient and being able to prioritize things that you want cleaned up first. But also, we do have plans for how to use a lot of waste to your benefit in the future in an update. So I think that'll also be good to have. So you're not going to just want to burn it all.
Oh
and yeah, ooh.
That sounds
I think
exciting.
there's something else. Oh yeah, there's a lot of just overall balancing. We've heard from players that rebels, their camps are a little bit too difficult to combat, especially in the later game, because they would have a bunch of level 3 turrets and they would all be in close proximity to each other. So we actually already have that balanced in our dev branches as well, so that 1, they spawn less level 3 turrets, and 2, they spawn farther apart, so they don't just tear through your ship. And we're also increasing the health on ships as well.
Ooh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's one thing I was noticing the first time. I think even with this save, like taking out a rebel encampment is very difficult. Like I think I had like 2 big ships and 1 smaller one, and yeah, I couldn't even do it.
Yeah.
Oh no, that was a different save. It was like they had me all the way down. It was like either I'm gonna go first or they're gonna go first, and it's gonna be like 1 volley, and I went down like within 1 volley. It was pretty painful.
Yeah.
But it was a good moment though.
I was going to say that late game feedback from our player base has been really, really helpful in particular. Because for a game like this, where it's a long game, like you start up a new round, you can play for 8 hours, no sweat, no problem at all. And if you're turtling, even more so. If you don't want to rush the enemy and take them down, just build your city up forever and keep defending. Then, yeah, it can be a challenge for a small team to be testing like all the possible consequences of a long game. Of course, I mean, how many? Just do the math, right? Like how many long games can you play actually? All the dev tools in the world, being able to build a city fast will not show you like what rebels do after a 40-hour game or something. So yeah, it's super helpful to get that kind of feedback.
Yeah, always. So I don't know if that answered what is the trickiest parts of development right now, but that's a lot of the feedback that we've received about development. So it's kind of peripheral.
Yes, the tricky part for you in the community sphere is to parse and respond to said feedback. So there you go.
Administrator Quinlan says, after a 40-hour game, rebels will make you sad. Oh no. You gotta take him out before then, I guess, huh?
Yeah, I think one time I sat in Discord with Mr. Quinn while he was completing a longer game, and there was some shenanigans going on. I think there were some real shenanigans. If you can build in rebel territory, you can right now just claim rebel territory, and they'll move out, they'll vacate the space, which means you can build in it. And in this case, Mr. Quinn ended up just building a fuel tank right in the middle of their territory. And when you upgrade a building, it becomes invincible. I think we're going to do something about that later. So he just immediately upgraded it to level 3 by spamming it before the rebels could target it. And it would eventually fill up. And they have a lot of health. And so what he would do is he would fill up the fuel tank, and then a ship would come and attack it. And then it would explode and destroy a lot of the rebel base around it. So
whoa.
Yeah, it was kind of cheatsies, but it was kind of funny.
I love that.
That's awesome. Yeah, I'm wondering if I'm thinking about maybe even taking over these guys' territory right here. Could probably do that.
You thinking about it?
Thinking about it.
Idea?
Thinking about
Maybe.
it. Thought about it. Gonna do it.
I see the worst best friends. I appreciate the answers. Really nice seeing more companies doing this where they stream and go over what's going on. Some transparency is really nice. We are all human. Yeah, it's really important as well. I mean, in the community space, on in forums or on Twitter or Discord or wherever, just keeping that final sentence in mind. We're all human.
Yes, please.
Yeah, I mean, when people give negative reviews and stuff, they're not looking for a fight. Usually, there are the odd just people who are just want to be angry online, and that's
want to watch the world burn.
They want to watch the world burn. But I mean, in the vast majority, in my personal experience at least, the vast majority of folks like that are looking to, they were hoping for something and didn't get it, and we say, hey, you know what, it's great feedback, we're on it, and then come back and say, hey, we added that thing. They're like, oh my goodness, and that person just feels hurt because they are human and they deserve some acknowledgement. Why not? Of course. So it's it's important just to kind of keep that in mind as you go forward. As much as it can be tempting to be like, screw that person, they don't like my game, whatever. Whatever, don't care.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this game is very personal to a lot of people on our team because it's very much a passion project. So it does hurt when we receive negative feedback, but we also know that there's a lot of things we can do to continue improving, and all the feedback that we get is just going to make Titan better in the long run.
Oh yeah, and if you've been following how we've been updating You know this is just going to keep getting better. Chris P in the YouTube chat says, any plans to give workers that are running off to build something or maybe scan a room a way to use the roads? Oh, I think they do already. If not, yeah, that should be in the plans. Because the way that the roads work is that the workers, if their job is linked by a road from start to finish, then they'll basically like transform into a truck and move twice as fast and carry, I think, 10 times as much stuff. So yeah, that should be in the game already. If not, yeah, that's definitely something we should be working on.
I thought that was already in the game as well.
Yeah, I think I've seen workers do that. Quinoline says, fuel bombs are not as potent against rebels as they are against your own city. Oh, I see. We're giving away secrets. It's fuel bomb secrets. What I'm doing right now is I'm actually moving my energy pylon because I want to start building a road to go take over the rebels over there. That's why I'm building this over here. I'm the waste management is such a difficult thing right now. It's just like constantly full.
Soon we'll have other ways to deal with it.
I'm excited for that. That sounds great. Yeah, look at all this. Look,
This is a mess.
what a lovely place to live in here. Oh yeah, this guy's had enough. Oh no! Oh, look at that. It's just like crawling. Oh no!
Oh no!
I feel so bad. Sorry, pal. I guess I could build more residential. Let's see how residential zone. Ooh. Wow, there's not really a very good place to build residential right now.
Yeah, there's a lot of pollution everywhere.
Yeah, and I put Sorry, go ahead.
Build a suburb.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah, way out
But
there.
where?
You know?
Over
Somewhere
here? But the thing is, like, yeah, I see. I think I made this area worse by building this turret here because they don't like living by. Turns out they don't like living by a giant machine gun. Burbs is the way to go. Yeah, I guess this is like the best burby area.
Yeah, you can always build some air purifiers there too, and maybe that'll offset the turret.
Yeah. Or I could move the turret too. Oh no.
Imagine if these were actual considerations we had to take in when we like tried to find living places. Do I want to be next to a giant, loud shooting thing, or do I want to breathe? You know?
Yeah, exactly.
It is facing.
Fence them in with monuments? Oh, do monuments improve the...
Oh, yeah.
Ah, okay. Livability effect plus 100. Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh.
They like council monuments. They don't like the council hall. Don't build residents near the council
They don't
hall.
like... Oh, shit. Okay, that's what I did. It's still fine here. 93. Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
It must be because I think it's because it's near the HQ
The
here.
headquarters. Yeah.
And there's an office nearby. Okay, that's what we'll do. We'll build a council monument over here and start making some burbs.
Having the council hall nearby is like having Big Brother watching you all the time.
I love that.
Not that they aren't already, but
It's just an extra reminder. It's like this giant
Yeah.
building. It's like
privacy. What's that?
I feel like there should be some like ominous hum coming from the council hall all the time. If not an audible hum,
Yeah.
it's just like
Something like deep and bassy.
yeah. Oh man. Okay, I have this really great story of Kevin. I don't know if you know this as an audio person. You might find this interesting.
What's up?
But this one time, I was volunteering for a local video production place in Winnipeg, and every once in a while that you volunteer, and then you go and work for an afternoon, and then you get like basically credits to rent equipment and stuff from them. But what they do is they go to the casino and you like give out bingo cards basically. And I'd never really been to casinos before that, and they do this really weird thing where they tune all the machines to the same chord.
Oh yeah, of course.
If you know about this, okay?
I'm aware of this. Yeah.
It's wild. When I was in there, like we were all just like, this feels like the soundtrack to some like super dystopian thing, like because it's just like a constant like oh, like all the time. It was wild.
Yeah, I mean, casinos do a lot of like design stuff that is very like sneaky tricks.
Oh yeah.
So I mean, things like they make bathrooms hard to find, or they make the route to the bathroom is like long and winding. Or,
oh really?
Yeah. So things like if you want to get anywhere, there's few straight lines, or there often won't be a straight line. It'll be like you need to walk around things to see more things that might catch your attention. Yeah, so it's not just. I mean, you're correct though. Yes, it's absolutely true that casino games are generally written in the same key signature, because then things sound nicer and are less likely to sound abrasive and dissonant to your human ears, and you might stay there for a longer time. Definitely.
Oh my god, I don't know. It was having the opposite effect for me. I was just like, it felt like Big Brother. I was just like, something's watching. I don't know. I got this really weird sense when I was there.
Two C major.
Yeah, exactly. But at first it's like oh, calming, and then because it just feels like it's just constantly there. It's like it's almost like the like water torture thing. It's just like if you just have it constantly for hours, it's just like I'm done. Like I'm tired of this chord kind of thing.
Yeah. Also, I would encourage you next time you're in a casino to try and find a clock.
Oh,
that's a good one too. There's no clocks. There's few windows.
Wow.
So you lose track of time.
Sneaky.
Yeah. Yeah.
This sounds very Titan-esque.
It does.
Yeah. I'm taking notes here. Let's do a.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking. Like, that's why I was like, maybe this council hall is constantly like outputting this, like, no. It's like, it sounds like it should be nice, but after a long time, it's like.
It's just creepy.
It's just really creepy. Yeah.
Welcome to Titan. You're here forever.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Gonna start the burbs. I need more power. That's what I need. Where am I going to put this? Okay, I have my batteries are full. And I did that so that when I mess with my fuel turbines, then my whole grid doesn't go down. So I'm going to try connecting these things. Oh, I don't have a road in there. Let me try that. Yeah. So that's making some burbs. I guess going back into the question of what was making development difficult, and from my perspective, we made a lot of videos for this launch.
A lot of videos.
Yeah, we made a lot
I'm
of videos.
sorry, Marlon.
No, that's fine. It was a mutual decision, and I think it was all good in the end. It was just it wasn't even just that there was a lot of videos. There was also the fact that there was we had an update for Phantom Brigade in the middle of when I was working on the other one, so things kind of got a little bit hectic there for a second.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. It's one of those things that I'm still working on. Like I'm used to from freelance. When I was doing freelance, I would always be kind of doing these short-term jobs and things that would require like some crunch, that sort of thing. But they're kind of like spaced out. So I think that's one thing that I think I need to work on is trying to manage myself a little bit better, the same way that the teams who are doing the game are, so I'm not like rushing near the end. Although it's tricky though, because I have to wait till the game is in a state where I can actually record it, and I'm not recording the game in a state where it's like, oh, this isn't actually in the game, or like if I record too early, then it's like, oh, well, this has changed, and then sometimes the devs will be like, well, we need to update this footage, that sort of thing. So it's a bit of a balance.
Yeah, show things off adequately.
Yeah, exactly. It's a bit of a balance. It's usually, I don't know, it's one of those things coming from a freelancing perspective. I'm like, it's hard to get away from some level of doing things last minute kind of thing.
Yeah, of course. Like you want to try and measure things then, and things need to be enough done, but also leave you time to get the work done, obviously.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
I have a voiceover spreadsheet open right now. It's the same thing with voiceover, like casting voice talent and getting it into the game to record for the tutorial content and so forth is like the exact same problem. So you think, oh well, we need things tutorialized, but if a feature is still being explored and isn't quite fleshed out yet, then how can we possibly write a script for a tutorial for it? So it's a big balance of, was it tight enough to write a script? It's like, do we understand this concept enough? Is it adequate? Is it appropriate? Is it effective? Like all these things. And and yeah, hopefully, if it's all done, if the script's all done and such, we can get the talent in and get on the mic and direct them and be good to go. But even then, there's still the risk of things changing just ever so slightly. And the thing is, humans are very good at detecting when something's not quite right with delivered speech. I'm sure we've all heard terrible voiceover in games. It's happened, unfortunately, and it's one of the few things in games that can like ruin the experience. Is like bad VO. It's very easy to just go from a serious, interesting game to being just a laughing stock in one line of voiceover. That's all it takes. So it's a little bit stressful. But yeah, for example, we were talking about the Zethane thing earlier with Ayana, and how if you call her manually, she does talk about the Zethane sources and not building fuel turbines like all in the same places, or fuel generators all in the same places, or that kind of thing, and just all the various kind of bits of advice there. But she doesn't say it in the linear tutorial. So the thing is, if a character is saying something in the linear tutorial sequence, they are calling you, right? Does that make sense?
Right.
Like the view just opens and they start talking to you. Hey, founder. And if you call them, they're responding to your call. So if a line starts with "Hey, founder," how you would say that would depend on who is kind of addressing who. Even though the player character, so to speak, doesn't ever talk, there's still the implication that you are calling them. So if I said like, if they were calling into me, they might say "Hey, founder" in a way of like getting my attention, like "Hey, founder, your fuel turbines," etc.
Right. Oh yeah.
"Hey, founder, your fuel turbines," and they'll kind of do like a more of a greeting in that way. So it's just those small nuanced things that those stick out in a big way. And
right.
It's not the kind of thing that most people maybe think about or consider, but if it's wrong, you for sure hear it. Even if you're not sure what's wrong, it just will not quite sound right.
Yeah.
Yeah. I have immense respect for your VO direction for sure. It's made all the trailers sound really good, and all the stuff in game sound really awesome.
Everything sounds so
stressful,
good.
So thank you.
Yeah, we get a lot of compliments on these things. So mainly art direction. Everyone loves the look of Nix and Antoine's voxel fusion with low poly art. Everyone loves Danny B's music, and everyone loves all the VO. They love the writing in the VO.
That's been great to hear. Yeah, I love that.
Oh yeah, it has. Yeah, as you said, it adds so much polish for sure.
Early access is so. Oh, sorry, you go.
Oh, I was just gonna say, Ross BC says, "Come to Titan, our city has the best ad cubicles on the planet."
It's true. There's technically a moon.
Oh
yeah.
Laying on the law.
Yeah. I was gonna say early access in general has been a really interesting journey, I guess, because I think if you have to develop things in a way so that everything is playable at each step of the development process. Whereas if we didn't do early access, we could just, put things in as we saw fit. So I think that's what's really, really interesting.
Yeah, that's tricky. That can be very tricky. Because especially because you're developing because you always have to kind of build in a bit of polish every month to make sure that it is something that people can play right away.
Mm-hmm. I think the big thing is just messaging, just making sure that it's clear what our perspective on polish looks like. So
that's a good point.
We release on Steam early access, and the game is nearly fully voiced. There's some in our peer lines that are missing due to circumstances beyond our control, but the rest of the voiceover is all done. So it says, yes, this game will be fully voiced. Even if, let's say, next month, to use an actual example that may happen, like that, if that Z-Thane tutorial gets put in, we might not get to record Stephanie Cho again right away for Anna Oak. And so that line might be silent for a month or two kind of thing. But the fact that everything else is voiced, I think would probably communicate to our players that, like, yeah, we know it's silent. Like, it'll be voiced eventually. We're just in early access right now. So it's always a bit of a balance, being like, well, how much do we want to, do that voiceover again immediately, and even though it may change significantly or whatever. So it's a lot of kind of push and pull to decide what, where our hours are best spent, month on month.
Oh boy, yeah. Okay. What are we doing here? Okay, building some power out here. Oh, I got a ship that I was just repairing the baguette here.
Oh yeah, that's also something that we have gotten a lot of feedback on, is adding a repair button for the ship, because now you have to dock the ship and then remember to go into the shipyard and hit repair. And I think everyone just forgets to do that. So
yeah, I've definitely done it where I put the ship in there, or even just auto repair when it's in there, right? Like, just I think one time I just put it in the shipyard and then I was like, oh yeah, it's done. Bring it right back out again. Just needs to go in the oven for a little bit longer, okay?
Yep, back in the oven you go. Still a little doughy.
Yeah, that's right. How are we doing for money here? Oh man, we're making 2K a day. Not bad. Just converting a couple more workers. Gonna replace those people. I think a bunch died. That's okay, they're replaceable.
There you go.
Hey, it's Tic Tac Foe. How's it going? Welcome to the stream.
The legend.
Yeah. Playing some more Necrodancer today. That's the spirit. This game is addicting. Oh, have you been playing it on stream, Tic Tac? What else can we do here? Whoa. Upgrading an office to level 3 is very expensive. I don't actually use this very much. This non-auto currency. I don't know how you guys feel about that. I just leave it on auto currency all the time.
Yeah,
you're here for the hot tips. Oh man, I don't know if I'm the right person to be streaming for hot tips. Although people in the chat, definitely. Mr. Quinoline has all the hot tips. What was the hot tip we just learned? Oh yeah, the ship bombs, right? Fuel bombs.
Oh yeah, the fuel tanks in the enemy territory.
Yeah, so you build
an audio hot tip. Oh please, no, do your hot tip first. Yeah. Done.
Oh no, I think what he was saying. Yeah, you build right up into the rebel territory, and then you make fuel. What are they called here? Fuel silos, and then you blow them up, and then they explode like lots of stuff around it. That's definitely a hot tip.
Very hot.
Very hot. Oh, also, did you know about the shortcut button? A lot of people don't know about the shortcut button. As you can see
That's
here,
a hot tip.
we can go to such places as the cafeteria, the power bar, the pizza processor, the gingerbread house, or the oven.
House. House of gingerbread? Nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
What is the gingerbread house? Oh, that's where people... Yeah, this is where people were staying. The Waffle House, IHOP, and Denny's. Yeah, that's what we named the floors. It's very, very descriptive. All right, we got that council monument going. Oh, livability here is 73. That's not too bad. That's not too bad.
Not bad at all.
Oh,
I'd live there.
Liuben from YouTube loves the shortcut button too. Nice. People are finding it.
Oh, my audio hot tip, Marlon.
Oh yeah,
was that
please.
If you want the best sound in the game, I encourage you to go into your settings and change something and press save and close. It's like
Okay.
the most needlessly. It's so needlessly dramatic. I don't know why it's so ridiculous, but there you go. Change
Oh,
like
oh,
one
it's just
slot.
it's just the that one.
It's too much.
I love it. I love it.
Me too.
I don't think it's too much.
Yeah, option.
Makes it, yeah, exactly. It makes you feel like, oh man, whatever I did was very satisfying. Yeah. It's like the sound in Phantom Brigade when you hit like launch or whatever. It's like, there's a good one. For that too.
Well, honestly, this game, we talked with this like internally with the team about like all the UI sounds, and at Power Up, we were all discussing how this really seems like the kind of game that, it's like a management game. And just from watching Twitch and just from my own personal experience, I feel like a lot of these players, they really value being able to set things up just how they like it. So the idea of having a settings menu that is rewarding in some ways, like just felt like it was worthwhile. So even if you set up custom key bindings, there's a whole suite of sound effects for the key bindings options too. Like if you confirm a new button, or if like the key you've chosen is already taken, or if you confirm it and go forward, like it's like a whole kind of audio story being told there too. So we're trying to be nice and thorough on all the UI stuff for this project.
Oh yeah, I love it. Ooh, that was a bit risky. I think my batteries can handle it. Oh yeah.
Tic Tac Fo says, "My last session, I learned that people do not like living near the space station."
Oh yes.
No, they do not. It's like living right next to the airport.
Yeah.
No one wants that.
I think if you click, wait. Oh, you can't click on it. How far? Oh yeah, here's spaceport. Okay, it's -17, but it's pretty far away, so it's okay. Yeah, the council hall is actually giving quite a bit of negative points here for this place. You're dismantling your residential building next to your spaceport? Yeah. They may not like it, but where else are they going to live, says System Chalk. Call their bluff.
Yeah, they have nowhere else to go now.
Yeah, people only come to Titan, they don't leave, it seems. Oh, I've been just going willy-nilly with my minerals here. I've been... Oh, wait, this thing's draining batteries now too?
Are you refining? You have 0, 2, or 3.
What?
Are you refining minerals? Are you refining isotopes?
Yeah, in the pizza processor.
Of course, in the pizza processor. Where else?
Come on, Kevin.
Okay, so you must have just used them up just then. Yeah, I just saw you moused over the 105 there, and you had 0 of 2 and 3.
Doing a lot of building.
Oh, I see. I'm doing a lot of... Yeah. I think it's because... I should probably build another processor somewhere. Honestly, I could make this one taller. I could upgrade this.
Was storage full? Is that the issue?
Yeah, also my storage is very full. Because of waste. Like this smokestack isn't doing enough. What the heck?
Gotta get another one.
Here, maybe? Oh yeah, I'm going to connect these ones too. Should I do it here?
Links in the Twitch chat asks, "Yo, you can put both types of materials in the same processor?" Double question mark.
Hot tips. Hot
Mind blown.
tip.
The hot tips don't stop. Let's go.
Yeah, that's right.
Usually you can still only fit one output module though, so.
Yes, that's right. No, usually you can fit 2. I think you can fit 2.
Along with the employee module?
I think
Oh,
so.
Oh,
yeah.
maybe on the level 2 processor.
Yeah, not level 1.
Yeah.
Yes. Mizmi asks, how long is the sale going on for? I think Maddie should know this one, right?
Whenever the summer sale ends. I actually have no idea when that ends.
End of the week, I think. Then I think it's just for 1 week.
Yeah.
I think so. Links, you followed up and said, "I've been making separate lines for minerals and isotopes." I mean, that might still be. There's nothing inherently wrong with that.
Yeah.
It's not like a step down from putting them both in the same processor. I think there's gains with a single processor for space reasons, obviously. But perhaps if you have a lot of minerals coming in, it's worthwhile having 2 lines. It's more processing, right?
Yeah.
Why not?
Another hot tip is you can put 2 employee modules on a processor to make them process things faster.
Ooh, yeah. Keep them coming.
Much faster.
Hot tips.
Hot off the press.
That's right.
I got like a voice mod going for hot tips, so I can just be like, hot
Do it.
tips.
Hot tips. I think I'm gonna... Wait, go. Do it again?
Hot tips.
Yes.
There you go.
Perfect. I love
Keep
it.
them coming.
Did you actually have that, or was that just you using a voice modulator?
This is just the hot tips guy weighing in for some hot tips.
Oh, how do you do that?
Ever play
That's
the Jackbox games, the murder mystery ones? You sound like that guy.
Wait. Oh, I see. Yeah, nice.
Trivia murder parties. There you go. It's fine.
Yeah,
Do you,
trivia
do you just
murder
like
party.
constantly have
I
like
must-
a voice modulator stuff hooked up to your
Not
microphone?
not constantly, but yeah, I mean, being in sound design,
Yeah.
it behooves me to have easy access to these things for rapid design of whatever I'm working on.
Right. Oh yeah, of course. That makes sense. Okay. Oh, dang. Things are getting a little crowded here. What else do I need? Mineral? Output module. Should I make this one double? Yeah, see, I can fit both in here. But do I need to do a full one? Because I mostly need minerals. Guess it doesn't hurt. Liubin in YouTube chat says, I just finished a game with 12 dead workers and 0 waste separation is key. Huh, interesting. System Chalk says, I prefer to think that there's no voice modulator and Kevin just has a 20-foot tall man on call for impromptu hot tip dialogue. You never know with Kevin. He's sneaky. Sneaky like that.
Do taller people just have lower voices? Is that a thing?
Is that how it works?
Yeah, I'm not really sure.
I kind of want people who are taller to just their voices get higher and squeakier. Stretch them out.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, I see. 12 dead workers in total. Oh, 0 waste. Okay. Separation is key. My waste is still going up. This is ridiculous.
Might be time to get some more conversion thingy-majigs. The word escaped me.
Conversion capsules?
Yeah, yeah.
I have a conversion center here. Actually, I can just upgrade this.
Or another one then. Or upgrade it, yeah.
It's 9. From level 1 to level 2, it's only 9 isotopes, which is pretty reasonable. But then it gets exponentially more expensive when you go to level 3. Like the Canadian guy in the film Role Models? What? I've never seen that.
Grown up. Not role models.
Grown-ups.
It doesn't help me.
It doesn't help me either.
Sorry.
Reference lost. Sorry.
Yep.
It's all right. How's your city looking, Marlon? Just zoom out for us here.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
looking pretty sick.
Yeah,
nice.
so we...
Do some photo mode.
Oh, yeah, good call. Photo mode.
Check it out. Oh, there you go. This is a real look.
Yeah, this looks great. Look at
Gotta
that
do
ship.
Field of view here.
Man.
Ooh, there's a little lens flare going on here. Gotta love that. A little JJ. Little...
It looks so good.
I love that, yeah.
Yeah, so if you like the skybox here, that was done by our partners Streamline.
Yeah, they did such a good job. It's so good.
They're amazing.
And it's also like you can see the night is the dusk over here. I love that. Oh, then you can do the filters. Ooh, that's what I'm talking about. Take that shot. I take that.
How close can you fly in?
Oh, whoops. I think that was as close as you can get. I think they limited how far to the ground you can get. Oh wait. Whoa.
Whoa.
Okay. No, I definitely got a lot closer there.
Let's fly amidst the buildings. Holy.
Yeah, here we go.
That's so cool. Like seeing the ads even above the roads.
Yeah,
Super
yeah.
Solar systems.
Hide the
Love
UI.
it.
Yeah. Oh, there's that lens flare. Nice.
Yes. Necessary. This game reminds me a bit of the Rebuild series. Is that by Sarah Northway? Is that Rebuild?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's a good series. Not bad. Some pals of BYG for sure here in town.
Yeah,
Vancouver.
Yeah, that's right. Working on a new one. It's called My Stories of a Teenage Exocolonist or something.
Yes.
Name, I love that.
Yeah, it's a great name.
Or no, I was a teenage exocolonist.
I was a teenage exocolonist. Yeah, that's what it is.
I was a teenage exocolonist. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, with Finji. That one. More
Oh,
pals.
I didn't realize. Oh yeah,
Yeah.
that's awesome.
JJ's Games says, at devs, should I do like a voice for the Twitch chat asking questions?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, give me a hot second here. I'll do a just no crazy reverb.
We'll just do like right here. Hey, so JJ's Games. JJ's Games here, weighing in. Do you know the game Cliff Empire? It's also a nice AMLL city builder.
Small.
The guy implemented a first-person mode where you can explore your city from a citizen perspective. Would be nice. Happy face.
That's actually something we've talked about.
Yeah.
It would definitely be a very like end of development thing if we decided to implement it because it's just it's mainly a nice to have and doesn't affect gameplay. But
Yeah,
we've toyed with the idea.
Wasn't there was some kind of like playful mock-up thing that maybe Mel did on the team or someone else did of like walking around a factory, and we're like,
Oh
this,
yeah, that was
this is
Mel.
interesting, but it's like really scopy.
Yeah.
Scopy being like, this adds a lot of work to audio in particular. Like the whole thing I was saying earlier with the listener position, with being above the scene. All of that changes when you're in first person walking around. Like the room will not sound correct, and it'll sound kind of weird and generalized and not so good. So it's a lot of different stuff to consider. So yeah, it's cool idea. I think it's probably that particular thing is probably sitting on a wish list somewhere, like as far as like our dev goals, but like it's not really a planned thing at the very moment.
Yeah. That's the tough thing is everyone keeps suggesting these ideas and we're like, oh, that's so cool. Yeah. And then our scope just keeps getting bigger and bigger and bigger.
Yeah.
Yeah. And we have to constantly... We have a special emoticon or emoticon. Ooh, dated myself there. Emoji in Slack, where it's literally a newspaper roll hitting the word scope, because we got to keep that scope down so that we don't
scope bunk.
Yeah, scope bunk. Oh, Kevin, you nailed his voice apparently.
I don't know what you're talking about. That was JJ's Games speaking.
Oh, I'm sorry.
So, wow.
Of course, that's what JJ's Games sounds like, naturally. Scope creep. Yeah, scope creep's a very real problem in every game, in my experience. I always want to add more things, always.
Did you ever do any, like, radio host gigs?
No.
Because you have such a radio host voice.
Is the answer to that question? Absolutely not. No, I actually had like a lot of speech problems when I was younger. I mean, by younger, I mean like 28.
Really?
Whoa, really?
Oh yeah, it still comes up occasionally. Definitely. It's like the opposite of stuttering, called cluttering, where you end up kind of skipping over. So like stuttering, you can't get the words out or sounds out, but with cluttering, you often just squish things together, or you skip over certain sounds or syllables or words. And so it comes across kind of unintelligible and mumbly. So I spent a lot of time recording my own voice and speaking things slow enough that you could focus on, like I could focus on each word independently. So it's taken some time. Thank you for saying it's radio quality now, because it took some work to get there. It's I still fall back on my old habits sometimes, but I try and keep it under control.
Wow. Yeah. So a lot of like very intentional work.
Oh yeah, and like self-loathing results, because you're like listening to.
Oh no!
Everyone says like, "Does anyone like how they sound?" Like it's the very common thing that people don't like their own voices, right? Because you hear your own voice and it sounds different than you've heard inside your own head for your whole life, right? So it's like I like a speech therapist buddy who said, "Hey, try this. Like, have a ruler, a bookmark, and read a book out loud and cover up like every word except the one you're currently on. Like, and move the ruler as you speak. So you have to focus on each word one at a time."
Oh wow!
And yeah, so it led to me talking like this on a microphone for a long time. Yeah. So yeah, it's pretty important too. Like working in audio, being able to, for example, like direct voice talent. I need to be able to speak in an intelligible way, and it's
right.
Yeah,
right.
And even though they'd be like, "Pardon me," I'm like, "Oh, I just know I spoke too fast in that case." So it happens. So enough about me, though.
Well, that's seriously really inspiring. I never would have guessed.
Yeah. A little story time there. Yeah.
Yeah. I find that when I hear myself, I'm like, wow, I talk way too fast. So now I'm inspired.
Yeah, try it out.
Yeah.
Like, try that book thing. It's actually surprisingly effective. And it leads you, or do things like listen to people like Stephen Fry speak, because they speak so unapologetically slow in interviews and such. And the thing is, no one minds,
Yes, that's right.
Like you're sitting there being like, "Oh, get on with it." Like it's totally fine. So, yeah, just take some time to kind of acclimatize yourself to speaking slower. That's all.
That's a great idea. I think I speak too quickly for myself as well.
It's very
And,
common.
and people
affliction.
people say that I mumble a lot.
Yeah,
And I,
yeah,
Yep.
I get that. I understand that. Yeah, it honestly is very development relevant. Like this may seem like a sidebar to the whole like gaming thing, but it's absolutely gaming relevant or game development relevant for my line of work.
Yeah, right.
Or
With
even
your
being on
direction.
stream
Well, I
with
remember.
you right now.
What's that?
It's like even being on stream with you right now. You know, this is also kind of like this ability measures into being able to talk to y'all.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
And yes, using voice direction, so I cut you off.
No, I was just saying. I was just yeah. I never. I can see how that'd be tricky for like voice direction stuff. But yeah, when I was in the sessions with you, you were doing. Like, I never would have noticed that you're doing so well with all the direction stuff. Like the stuff that I've learned from just being in sessions with you, it's like pretty wild. Like the thing that you were talking about with the billboarding lines, that sort of thing.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah, billboarding. Should I talk about billboarding right now? Billboarding.
Yeah,
Yes,
go for
I'm
it.
curious. I want to know.
Billboarding is okay. So I'll say that I'm certainly standing on the shoulders of the giants who came before me, Marlon, in a big way. And I still think that I know I have a long way to go in terms of improving as a voice director. It's not like it's my full-time job, right? So I kind of drop into that role occasionally for as needed for projects like this. But at my old job, I worked on a little game called Superhero Squad Online. It's kind of like the chibi teens version of X-Men, you know?
Okay.
The storylines are things like Doctor Doom's mom comes to visit his cave and he's like got to clean it up. Like that's the conflict for the whole episode.
Amazing.
So, anyways, it was like an MMO for kids, and they voiced like every hero. There was like 140 characters in the game or something, and so my role was editing a lot of that voiceover, and it was sent from a studio in LA, working with some really great talent. You know, folks like Tom Kenny, who was the voice of SpongeBob SquarePants, and like Charlie Adler, who's the voice of like Buster Bunny in Tiny Toons, or like Phil Lamar, who's like Hermes in Futurama. Like all these like really, really great voice actors.
Oh,
and
wow.
on top of that, they also included what's called the talkback channel. So I could hear what the director was saying. So when they asked for a certain direction note, a big kind of goal in direction is to get the performance you want in the least time. So using really specific and accurate adjectives to say, hey, more of this, or just simply like some emotional injection, something like that. So not saying, for example, more angry, because anger can come from a variety of places. It can come from frustration or impatience or just annoyance, or it can come from, you can be threatening with anger. You can be warning with anger. Like if your kid's gonna walk into the street, you know, there's like, you can be more angry in that delivery. So being able to say, hey, more threatening is immediately so much more effective and time effective than just saying more angry. So yeah, being able to hear, you know, a director in LA talking to these mega talents on the microphone was super helpful. And yeah, so back to billboarding, one word I kept hearing these directors say was billboard. So they'd say a line where let's see, I have a voiceover spreadsheet open right now. Let's look at an Iana Oak line. Okay, how about, hey founder, we should be turning our fuel into energy, right? So ones like that, or even the next line, most buildings and devices need an external source of energy in order to operate. So in that case, the word source of energy is the billboard. So Stephanie Cho might read it through and say, most buildings and devices need an external source of energy in order to operate. And that's not really, like, sure, that's the sentence, but it's not really helping in terms of tutorialization. So for someone hearing this sentence for the first time ever and playing the game for the first time ever, they might not know this fact yet. So pushing a specific concept in the middle of the sentence can be really, really helpful. So saying it as, most buildings and devices need an external source of energy. So in that case, source is the billboard. Source. Emphasis, basically. But oftentimes, it's not just emphasis. It's also, you can often like leave a beat, you call it, like a little bit of time before or after a word. If it's like a gameplay term, for instance. So something like, so build a fuel fabrication device in your headquarters or in a factory. We don't want to say build a fuel fabrication device in your headquarters because that's it's a little bit too together. Build a fuel fabrication device in your headquarters. It just separates it just a hair to help the human brain internalize what's happening a little bit. And it is a nuanced thing, but that's kind of, I like to think it just separates voiceover that's fine from voiceover that's A, more believable, and B, just helps our players learn the game more effectively. That's the idea.
So the billboards would
Super
be
cool.
like in the text would be the bolded / colored parts of the tutorial.
Oftentimes they would be, but sometimes, I mean, it's like if you say a sentence, you can kind of emphasize any given word to change the meaning and context of it.
Yeah.
Does that make sense? Like if I say, I went to school, I can say I went to school, which implies someone else didn't, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like there's additional context
Yeah, that's
pushed
right.
into that sentence. So, or I went to school, which suggests like I could have done something else.
Something else.
But I
Right.
went there. Or I went to school, which means I could have gone to the
Somewhere
store instead, right? Instead, I chose to go to school. So when there's things like, I don't have a line just in front of me right now, but yeah, when you are explaining certain tutorial concepts, then yeah, saying like I went to school is perhaps helping to the player understand that, Marlon didn't go to school, or like Maddie, like Kevin went to school in this case. So like there's just it's important to know the game when you're talking about these things, so you can help further contextualize things. For of course, keeping in mind like the voice talent, they get the scripts ahead of time by a few days usually, and they'll have read things through to prep for the session, but they might not play the game. I mean, if the game is still in development, they may have no access to the game. So the director is there to help kind of further contextualize what the heck they're actually talking about.
That's awesome.
Is that all clear? There's a lot of
Yeah.
stuff.
No, that was
That's
super clear.
Yeah, I love that.
I love
Yeah,
learning.
Mr.
just-
Quinlan was just saying, "I'll see you around," and we thought he was leaving, but he was just saying another sentence where the emphasis makes a big difference, right? I'll see you around. I'll see you
Yeah.
around.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll see you around.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I find I love learning just terms that people use in their professions. Like, I was like, what the heck is billboarding?
Yeah.
I'm so curious. So,
Yeah, and for all I know, that's just something that one guy in LA said and nobody else does, and I just picked up on it. But yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a common. When I say a billboard in sessions, no one says like what. They might say what. It's like if they're kind of newer on the voice acting scene, they might be like, what do you mean? Like, oh, put the emphasis here, and I'll explain kind of why we want to do that. And they're like, oh, okay, cool. And then from that point forwards, they know what billboard means for the whole session, right? So they're good to go.
Yeah, it's not a hard concept to grasp once you explained it once.
did you ever get a chance
That's cool.
to talk about the casting process on stream? Are you able to?
I did with Jared, but
With
I'm
Jared?
happy to again, of course. Not today, I haven't, no. Yeah, I can talk about that, sure. It's
Yeah,
not like
please
it's a secret or anything. So in this case, casting can vary based on if your project is a union project or if it's not. There's certain kind of expectations and such that working with a union, they require certain approaches and protocol and so forth, and certain payment structure, and there's various things to keep in mind. But so this is a union project. It's also worth mentioning that it's being a union project, we have access to a lot of like really talented people who are who've been in the industry for a long time. So this is a union project, and the casting process is basically we need to know who the characters are in the game that we need to have voiced. We need to have some idea of who these characters are in terms of their like gender identity and their age and their backstories. Maybe ethnicity plays a part. There's a lot of things to keep in mind. Accents, things like character references. So hey, I love John Travolta in like Pulp Fiction, like Saturday Night Fever or something. I love that character. I want this character is like to have like to embody John Travolta in Saturday Night Fever. Like that's a real thing you can say to an actor who's cast who's auditioning for a role, and then they might not try and like do a Travolta impression, but yeah, they'll try and like pull some of that energy in there, right? Just whatever you can add to a casting sheet. As far as all the breakdown information will help the auditioning individuals just better bring something that A, is their own, they're making it their own, but B, still resembles something that the casting director or the team had in mind. So we cast to a variety of agencies. Where we cast would depend on the needs of the project, but we might cast just in Vancouver. We could cast worldwide if we wanted to. And once we have auditions in from all these various sources, from agencies and such, we may have like a couple hundred auditions. We could have 1,000. We could have 10. It depends on the size of the net we're using to cast, basically. And once we have those, we would go through them and listen through the auditions. Sound something like, if I was auditioning for the role of Shiaro Hess, the corporation advisor, right? So on the casting sheet, there'd be some lines. So the lines might be something like, or rather, my audition might be something like, "Hi, my name's Kevin Regamy, and I'm auditioning for the role of Shiaro Hess. Here we go. Welcome, founder. My name is Shiaro Hess, and I am your corporation monitor. Yeah, every founder on Titan is assigned a monitor like me," etc., etc. So I have the whole read through. We have like 100 lines or 100 files that are all different people saying the same lines. And we go, some of these are obviously no for either experience or for just like character choice reasons. And we sort of push those aside. We shortlist a bunch. It might be 3, it might be 20, who knows? Mm-hmm. And then we wait a day, we come back and we shortlist again. We wait a day and we come back, we shortlist again. And sleeping on it is very important. And as a team, we all kind of come to a consensus and say, you know what? Shiaro Hess, Ian Hanlon is the guy for the job. And in the end, Ian Hanlon was awesome and sounds great. So once that casting process is done, we send a script through after all the contractual stuff's dealt with and payment stuff's dealt with. We send a script through to them through the agency, and they come in and record with us. And that's kind of the gist. So it's a lot of pre-production to make sure that the day of recording goes well, because voiceover can be expensive. It's really important to be, like I was saying, time is money, of course. Like with the whole world, for any industry, really, time is money. So having effective directorial or direction notes for the talent is kind of what I was talking about. Like being able to say, make it threatening, not make it angry, is just further helpful to save money and not run long and not have to come back and not make mistakes and all these things. So there's a lot going on, a lot of moving parts for voiceover for sure. And if anyone has questions in the chat, I'm happy to answer whatever.
Do you have lines from games that are just seared into your memory from a bunch of just recording sessions?
Yes. I wasn't reading that from memory. That's in front of me.
I thought you were reading that from memory. I was like, whoa, that's crazy.
Yeah, not quite. No, I was reading it right in front. I should have just claimed like, oh yeah, totally. I just had the entire script memorized. Good job. No, it's. You are correct though. It's the kind of thing where I'll hear a certain line in game and be like, yeah, and it hits me a bit different because I've heard that particular line like 1,000 times.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a tricky thing, and that's also that's kind of an apt point, Maddie, because like if we are auditioning and we have 100 people to look through, and that first line, "Welcome, founder. My name is Shiaro Hess, and I am your corporation monitor." We're gonna hear that line in particular, even if there's like 5 lines to read. We might already know that it's like not a good fit by the end of that first sentence, Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And it may sound blunt and mean, but it's often just the case. That someone reads through and they're stumbling, or they sound kind of like just way too young, or whatever the case may be, and you just say, okay, well, thanks a lot, and no.
Mm-hmm. Something that I really admired from when you were giving updates on VO casting and talent was like the emphasis on trying to find voice actors who really identified with the role. So, for example, we have a couple non-binary characters in Industries of Titan, and I remember that casting for non-binary characters was like a little difficult because it would decrease the pool of talent by a bit. But I loved that you really pushed through and you were like, I think the thing you said that really stuck with me was like, you can hire someone who's been in the industry for a long time and it's going to come out great, but you can also take a little bit extra time to teach someone who's a little newer to the industry.
Sure.
And like get them started really and represent something different than people who've been in the industry for a long time, for example. I thought that was really cool. I'm not sure I said that very eloquently, but if you understand what I was getting at.
Yeah, it's just about like helping to invest in a healthier industry, basically.
Yeah, exactly.
Because yeah, of course, things might take a bit longer. I mentioned the X-Men thing I was working on at my old job, and I mentioned Charlie Adler. And this guy, I mean, he's the voice of Starscream in the original Transformers and in the films. Like, he's been around for so long, just doing voiceover. And he remains the only voice actor whose work I've edited, for whom I couldn't, like, he was delivering golden takes faster than I could edit them. And typically, you like just have the playhead playing through, and as it's going, I can like grab the good take and pull it down to another track and sort of like separate the good takes from all the raw recording, right? But he's just so fast. It's ridiculous. I was just gobsmacked. I was like, what the heck? How is this guy so good? Mm-hmm. So yeah, it's just pretty insane. Whereas if someone's a bit newer, they might have a harder time just simply with something like enunciation, just the hard skills of the job, right? The hard skills as opposed to the character interpretation. And sure, so myself even, I might need a few tries to say a given sentence correctly. So of course, whatever, I'll take the time and do it. Or it may be things like, oh, I need to take a second to explain what billboarding means. So things like that just are a symptom of, well, they haven't been in 1,000 voice sessions. So that's fine though. That's okay. We'll take a little bit more time and get what we need. So yeah. In the chat, Robert Snipe. What I don't understand is why a snippet of speech in a game must always be overtly clear, that is, overlooking the accessibility issues. It makes the EXP experience seem terribly inorganic and often breaks immersion. For instance, if it's a scientist, they could be a bit mumbly. Tone and voice modulation, like the billboarding thing you were talking about as well. I think a bit of Borderlands when I think of great dialogue in different contexts. So, well, sure, yeah. So for a game like ours, I see what you're saying, because yes, that's absolutely a risk. If you are being crazy specific in the delivery of the words so that every sound comes through and is heard appropriately, then yeah, of course you risk some like, well, this doesn't sound so believable, and I'm no longer immersed in the game. Again, audio's entire job in a game, or in most industries really, in most mediums, is to support the narrative, or the narrative of the game itself, or the player's narrative, like whatever the player's doing. For example, Marlon clicking around different buildings, it's his personal narrative, and that in this case, we hear the sounds of the buildings he's clicking on, right? For a given project's narrative, so for a game like Titan, it's tricky because yeah, we want to be believable, but it's a highly informative script. Like, we're looking to teach the players something, and like every single block of text is like, okay, learn something new now. So yeah, you're absolutely right. It's a massive balance of trying to be understandable and still be like, okay, well, we believe this character is actually a real person and they are saying these things in a way that a person would say them. And I do think that Titan has struck a pretty good balance there. There's a few lines here and there that I will not call out, but I'm not as happy with. But yeah, you're correct. Basically, you're absolutely correct. And I think some projects inevitably maybe fall short on that kind of thing, and some do a great job. It's the nature of the business.
I might be a little biased, but I also think it strikes a pretty good balance.
Yeah.
I mean, so a line like, I'm gonna try and find one. Give me a second. It's like Stephanie Cho did a great job with us. So Stephanie Cho did the Power Advisors dialogue, Ayana Oak, and her character is kind of like this overeager, like wants to please, is fresh out of school, is like, founder, you and I can do this together. It's gonna be great. So yeah, it makes sense that she might be a little bit. her voiceover wouldn't come across as prepared, whereas someone like Shiaro Hess, who's kind of cagey, who is a bit withdrawn, would say things with a bit more specificity and hold back with pauses in the speech. And that makes sense for the character because he's kind of more mysterious that way. And you're kind of like, what's this guy's deal? So yeah, with Iona Oak, we'll have a line like the dropping out of, what line is that? Dropping out of tutorial 0105. I have it right here. Here it is. So this line here.
And after years of school and grad school and VR training programs and dropping out of VR training programs, I'm
like in that case, she's kind of comes back, but she's still saying the words, you know, or even like the "I wish" line where she drops back and says "I wish." There's like a bunch of cases where we're trying to make sure that even if how am I trying to say this? Like you can speak quickly and still get out all the sounds you need to say. It's not like speaking overtly clearly means we need to be slow also. It's just a matter of making sure the sounds we need are actually there. What was that? I dropped an example in Slack that one time of like of editing like in a nuanced way. What the heck was that? Like oh man. Now it's 3 p.m. not 2. We gotta wrap this up.
Oh yeah.
So rambling on voiceover stuff, I apologize.
No, this is great. I love hearing about this. I think chat does too from all the comments.
Oh yeah. No, this is great.
Let me from
the Toxin Tractor? What? Robert Snipe, the Toxin Tractor. I didn't play much CNC.
Toxin Tractor.
I think it's a CNC reference.
Oh, okay.
It would be a better stream if I could also manage my waste properly.
It's
we
just
had Kevin talking about VO and I could manage my waste. Then it would be a perfect stream.
Okay, I found it. Here we go. So this is oh my goodness, where is this here? 27 days ago. Oh my god, it's like a month ago I said this. So the line, this might be loud. I don't think it should be okay. Here we go.
Just select the damaged ship and move it on top of the shipyard so we can dock it.
Okay. So just select the damaged ship. Terrell Rothbury said. One more time.
Just select the damaged ship and move it on top of the shipyard so we can dock it.
It's really close to being fine, but she says damaged ship and not damaged ship.
Oh, that's right.
It's very small. It's a very small, nuanced thing. So
yeah, I remember you posting this. This is very fascinating. Yeah.
Yeah. So this is I'll play it one more time and I'll play it followed by the corrected version. Here you go. Damaged ship.
Just select the damaged ship and move it on top of the shipyard so we can dock it. Just select the damaged ship and move it on top of the shipyard so we can dock it.
Catch that?
Yep.
Yeah.
The very small D. One more time. Here you go.
Just select the damaged ship and move it on top.
So that was not what she said in person, but there's just editing involved. So that's another great example of like no one's gonna come to me on Twitter and be like, "Yo, sweet, like addition of the ed in that word," damage, you know. But, yeah, it's just the kind of thing that like that's an example of the intelligibility was there. We heard what she said, and you can see the text on screen, but it's just like that can be a little better in terms of what the words actually are.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man!
When you listen, sorry, you go, Marlon.
I was just gonna say another time with Kevin's editing ability. I remember there was one time a long time ago we made that. I think it was a video about the PAX party or something, and then I had interviewed Danny at one point, and then Danny does this thing where sometimes he doesn't he ends his sentences kind of a little bit, and then. It sounds like he's not ending the sentence, and I wanted to cut it off at a certain part, and then Kevin was like, "I can make it sound more natural," and he like somehow made it so his voice went down at the end of the sentence. It was incredible.
Yeah, I recall that. That's hard.
yeah, Danny's
it's very
great.
time consuming, but yeah, you can use pitch correction software, like the kind of thing that you'd use to correct a singer's out of tuneness, but you can kind of abuse it in ways that it was not meant to be used to force, like the inflection. Like the pitch center of a voice over time to move somewhere it didn't otherwise move, and just make it sound have a little more finality, a little more confidence.
Yeah,
to make a statement rather than a question.
Yeah. Oh, that was awesome. I love that.
Completely forgot about that. That's so funny.
Let's
Anyway.
get some DB styles in the chat.
Yeah, D styles for sure. Danny's apparently doing very well now. So
Yeah.
he's on the mend.
So good to hear.
Yeah.
We miss him. When you listen to other games, Kevin, do you hear when that kind of editing happens, or do you not know really?
I shouldn't hear it.
Yeah.
If it's done right, we should never know it was done at all, right? My wife hates watching movies with me because I'll be like, "That was an edit."
That's mainly what I'm asking. Like, how obvious is it to you, or what are the kinds of things that you hear that most people don't usually notice?
I'm
that
sure
might be a
there's
tough
more-
question.
No, I'm sure there's good answers to that question. I can't think of right now, but the editing thing is a big one. There's actually a whole subreddit called, I think, production errors or production mistakes. I can't remember what it's called.
Oh my god.
Production. What the heck is it? Yeah. Anyways, the gist is if you, production glitches is called. There we go. So you post songs and discuss glitches in their production, and usually a glitch is not like, my opinion is this drum is bad. Like that's not a glitch. A glitch is, oh, there was no fade on this cymbal crash, and you can hear it end prematurely, like that kind of thing. So we hear those kind of things, absolutely. Just stuff that people will not usually hear because it's technical in nature. To get briefly technical, if you can picture like a waveform, you've all seen like a sine wave before, right? A sine wave. So there's like the middle axis over which the wave oscillates, and that oscillation of the wave is actually the speaker's head, like the speaker cone. It's its position over time. So if it's at rest, if it's silenced, there's no wave, and that means the speaker is sitting in like the middle position at rest. But if you have like, poof, you have that kind of up and down, and that means the speaker moves like forward and back over time, right? So the problem, if you start a waveform at a non-zero position, so let's say you start it with a wave like starting at like some positive position instead, you are telling the speaker head to physically move from rest to some position in zero time, and physical objects can't teleport like that. So the speaker does its best, but the result is it has this kind of pop sound on it, and that's the kind of thing that every audio engineer is very well acquainted with. It's something to watch out for. The larger the jump, the more egregious and offensive it can sound. But if there's small ones, they can maybe get, they can fly by the wayside and be like, they'll slip through sometimes. So I'll be watching some television production or like something on Netflix, and I'll hear that. I'm like, oh, someone didn't fade a region. Like someone didn't fade in that voiceover. Someone didn't fade in that ambience track or whatever. That's a really, really common one. And I've heard them in Titan too, when I fixed them. Just something that we didn't hear the first time. Like, oh, whoops, like that loop does not loop nicely. I got to fix that. So yeah, it's really common.
We have a couple questions in YouTube chat. So let's see. Do you have a favorite actor from the Red Alert?
From Red Alert? Oh man. Wasn't like, oh, what's his name? I can't. Oh, I should know this. He's in like, oh man.
Tim Curry?
Yes, thank you.
Yes.
Obviously.
Tim Curry is great.
Yeah. I'm going to the one place where no one can reach me.
Is there another answer to that question? I don't think there is. That's the right answer.
That's the right answer.
That's
yeah.
the answer.
I think he's read a couple audiobooks that I've listened to recently too.
Oh,
Great
wow.
voice.
He would be great at reading audiobooks.
Could also be a different Tim Curry, but I don't think so. Other questions are... I can't figure out what the problem is in worker prioritization for garbage. So, this is actually something that we are looking to improve upon. Right now, the way it works is garbage will be produced, and when workers pick it up, they'll pick it up from whatever was produced first to whatever was produced last. And there isn't really a way to change the prioritization right now. Which is not great. So We are currently reevaluating the logic for how those waste jobs are created, and also trying to improve the AI to be more efficient with that. And also just, being able to prioritize, hey, I want to clean up this residential building first before anything else. So right now, if it seems like your workers aren't cleaning something up, it's probably just because they're cleaning up something else. Let's see, what else?
Oh man, I almost screwed myself again.
Uh-oh.
Because I was like, I'm going to be real sneaky and put this relay right in the middle here. And then I realized, oh, my workers wouldn't be able to get to it to repair it. And so if this got taken out, then I would lose power.
You're also losing a couple of citizens here and there.
Oh, it's fine.
We're down to half. It's fine. Acceptable losses.
Yeah, exactly.
Get some more.
Yeah, just get some more. Just don't tell the ones who are coming that people are just dying all over the place in my city.
Another question is why do employee salaries scale up but citizen credit production doesn't? So this question is
It's very blunt.
Yeah. So basically, to be totally honest, the reason that employee salaries scale up like that is to keep employee counts down. Previously in development, we had players who could just get a ton of employees. They'd have like 400, 600 employees working around their city, and it would tank the game's frame rate and stuff. So this is kind of our way to artificially, at the moment, keep employee counts down so that the game doesn't implode on itself. But you can also think about it in game terms, like the bigger your company, the more maintenance costs there are going to be. And also, maybe you're just reaching some milestones and you want to give your loyal employees a nice raise, right? But that's kind of the answer for now. We are going to continue to look into optimization. It's a constant work, so that we can get cities that much bigger. But for now, that is the answer.
Oh, I forgot life support.
Citizens
Get
dying.
all that
What's
pollution.
happening here? What's going on?
Yeah, there we go. That's better. Okay, when that's done. Oh, Tarn died. No, not Tarn.
Oh, darn.
That happened before another stream, and I made a joke that now the Dwarf Fortress will never get finished. But maybe that's Tarn's a great guy. Also a game coming to Steam, which I'm very excited about.
Eli Pod says, can workers skip storage and deliver trash directly to smokestacks if possible? I don't think so right now.
Wait, what was that one?
Can workers skip storage and deliver trash directly to smokestack?
Ooh.
I don't think so.
If, for instance, your waste was empty at that point and you had a
Yeah.
smokestack that's ready.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah, I think they have to put it in storage and then immediately take it out and deliver it to the smokestack.
I'm using batteries already? Oh no, what did I do?
Uh-oh.
Oh no, what did I do? Battery drain. Why? Did I put... Okay, these things... What?
What happened to your shields there?
I don't know.
Oh yeah, what's going on there?
It's called the Careful Tethys, and I definitely was not careful enough, apparently. Wait, what the heck is going on here?
No, it
Oh,
means
it's
you
because I
moved from
didn't...
Careful.
The life support.
You okay? Yeah. Of course.
Shit.
No, it means, Marlon, you moved from careful to this.
To this. It's good.
And what is this?
That's good. A mess.
Not good.
That's what this is. It's a mess. Oh yeah, here's another fun. I think this is a fun thing that I think still happens in the game. I know that Antoine. One of the we were talking about audio tricks that you can do to like things that you did with the audio listener and stuff. But there's like other things too. For Antoine, like the ships that come out of the shipyard, I think they scale up as they fly up slightly, because the shipyard is the size of the ships, like the big ones, are too big for like the shipyard model, so they have to like scale. So as they launch, they scale up slightly, just so that they get to their full size, which I thought was a neat little trick.
Also the cause of other current audio issues that I had to that I very recently diagnosed with the help of Mo on the team.
Oh, the specific thing?
Mastermind. It measures in, definitely. Yeah.
Wow.
So the issue is that once we got for those who were in the chat earlier in the stream, we were talking about like split listener position stuff. So you have split screen, you hear things on the left side of the screen from the left side of your panorama, like from your left ear mostly, and things on the right side from the enemy on your right ear mostly. That was kind of part one of the problem. Part two is that if you zoom, how do I describe this? If you were in a factory with, say, a fuel fabricator pumping away, and you hear like the thing pumping,
right?
If you go into a ship and you zoom to approximately the same zoom level, you just won't hear the fabricator pumping because of the scaling issue. I learned that even though it sure looks pretty dang close, in truth, the listener is like over 3 times farther away than how it is in the factory. So the 3D roll off, like the distance attenuation, we call it, the how sounds get quieter as you move farther away from the sound source. The attenuation curve falls to silence like way before that. So the game thinks like, oh, you're super far away from this fabricator, so we shouldn't hear it, and you just hear nothing instead. So if you zoom way in, you can hear it, but even then it's still kind of quiet because it thinks you're much farther away. So that is on our to-do list as well as far as audio stuff goes, to make sure combat sounds nice and juicy.
Nice. Yeah, so I guess those tricks that you do even on the art side can have knock-on effects.
Yes, exactly. Because I'm looking, this looks fine. It looks totally correct. Why does it sound so wrong? I open up some back end features, and it's like, this thing is 4,000 years away, not like, not 500. Okay, what the heck? So, that's fine.
Just bust out the measuring tape in game.
Yeah, exactly. Well, yeah, of course, right? If I had it just looks the visual mastery is, the trickery going on is very effective. So
yeah,
it tricked even me.
Yeah, that's right.
Can I just say that this is the nicest looking ship I've ever seen?
Oh my, thank you.
It's so symmetrical.
I know. This is something that I really try to do when I build ships, is try to make it really symmetrical. I think I'm okay now. I think it's okay. Wait, what is this? Not connected. Oh, I have to build one more relay here, because this thing isn't. I could just move this out too. Actually, I'm going to do that as well. Yeah, I'm very pleased with this one, even though there's a couple issues. Yeah, it also makes me wish I had the blueprint thing, because I'm just like, copy this one.
Yeah, totally.
But I know that everybody's been asking for that. Sorry, go ahead, Kevin.
I was just saying the symmetry on this ship is really jiving with me. Feels good.
I consider it a failed ship if it's not symmetrical. But I'll let the baguette pass, because the baguette is not symmetrical. It's pretty jam-packed.
Are there currently non-symmetrical ship designs at all, like floor plans?
I don't think so. I think they're all...
Or are they all kind of front-to-back symmetry?
I think so.
Yeah.
I'm going to launch this one. Yeah, I think they're all symmetrical along the center line, yeah. There it is. Careful to this. We should rename this thing, because it's some other kind of baked good.
Oh, yeah.
What's your guys' favorite baked good?
It's got to be some kind of pastry.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What does it look like? Should call it like the toaster strudel.
The toaster strudel? I love that. Oh, Zuo says pain au chocolat. It's also pretty good.
That's a good one. We can keep going with the French.
Yeah, that's true. We got to do that.
The cautious brioche.
The cautious brioche.
Yeah. I think that's my vote so far is cautious brioche.
Pain au chocolat is pretty good, but I think I have to do the cautious brioche. Brie. Oche. Here we go.
Oche.
Nate said the Pop-Tart as well. We'll name future ships that.
Oops.
It's kind of funny, actually, just thinking that they pop out of the toaster. We need to name another shipyard the Toaster.
Oh, yeah, the next one's going to be definitely Toaster. Yeah.
Yeah, then we can name it the Pop-Tart.
Here's a fun little bug. If you can
push it ahead?
Yeah, if you can push it ahead like this, but then if you reach the max characters, whoa, what the heck? Oh, it's deleting characters. That's interesting.
Whoa, there you go.
Anyway. Cautious brioche. No space for the cursed strudel. Also good. Okay, what am I doing here? Oh, we're going down in waste. Yes.
Nice. So, did we have a certain goal in mind? It was to start taking that rebel base, right?
Yes. So I should definitely start building. If I build a command center here, I think we're okay with power. Yeah, we're doing good with power.
Yeah.
So I think we could start stretching ourselves a little bit. Pain au chocolat wouldn't even fit. You like the double entendre of pain. Yeah, that's true.
Yeah. Pain.
The chocolate pain. Chocolate pain. Yeah, you know.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Let's,
Here to deliver you the most delicious hurts ever.
Was that bringing you back, Kevin? I guess it's a pretty old one. Chocolate Rain.
Very old. Very old. Very nice. Classic YouTube. Yeah, dating yourself, Marlon.
Yeah, well, I can't help it these days. It just happens. Yeah, classic YouTube, yeah. Citizen Owl is just that. Yeah, there is I am definitely having a pollution issue. I don't think it's very nice to live in this city right now. Yeah, it's covering everything.
What gave it away? All your dying people?
Yeah, a little bit.
Just the bright red.
It's okay. Citizen Neek died. Okay. Alright, we should try to take over at least one rebel base. Oh man, we've been playing. It's 3:30 already. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. We should probably wrap it up soon.
Okay, I'm gonna do a push. I'm gonna do a push for this rebel base, and then we can call it. I'm gonna prioritize this speed at 3.
System Chalk says, "This is a fun idea. Trash is going down because people are the trash generators, and apparently bodies don't count as trash."
Oh no! Don't say those things. Andy's gonna see this and he's gonna be like, "Oh yeah, I gotta make more trash because of the people." Oh shoot!
Oh no!
Now I'm being attacked.
Oh no! We weren't paying attention.
Oh, where?
I don't know. Where are they coming from? It's okay. The careful to this. No wait. Why is it still called the careful to this?
No.
What happened?
Cautious brioche.
It's the cautious
Do not
brioche.
hit enter.
I thought for sure you pressed enter.
Yeah, I thought so too.
Yeah, that's weird.
There we go.
Okay. We're good.
It rejected the name.
Okay. Let's come from this side.
Oh, yeah, this one.
Launch the cautious brioche. Yeah, Alexa, that voice actress, by the way, is Terrell Rothery. If there are any Stargate SG-1 fans in the house, Terrell Rothery is the voice of Dr. Fraser.
Oh,
Fraser?
nice.
Fraser? Yeah, excellent.
Zuo asks, Just curious, are there plans for non-military vessel production in shipyard? Sort of. We're toying with the idea, I think. There's things that we want to do, but it would probably be farther down the development line, from my understanding.
Oh, there's another one. Oh, but this is not powered on. Oh, we're gonna have to send the baguette for this one. Go baguette. This guy's done. It's so easy when they have one weapon, you just aim at the weapon and then that's it. Like, as long as you keep taking it out, they can't retaliate.
They can't do anything. They're poor level 1 against your level 3 ship.
Yeah.
That's not
Yeah, it's
fair.
done. Just being careful. Cautious, I guess I should say. Ooh, okay, this might be a little bit more tricky. Oh no, they only have one weapon too. Okay, so this is gonna be really easy. Alright, so I don't have to worry about that. We have Command Center 3 up here. Oh, this might take too long. I might have to call it soon, a bit sooner.
We'll get close.
Yeah.
Zuo says, I understand scope creep and everything. It just made me think of terraforming Mars's system and how it doesn't really make sense not to use transport vessels for economic reasons. Yeah, that's kind of our line of process too. It would make a lot of sense to be able to use ships for non-combat reasons. So,
Yeah.
again, something we would like to do, just maybe farther down development.
Yeah. Olrak bought the game thanks to Raptor's review. Oh, nice. Raptor's review.
Nice. We love Raptor.
Oh, did he do like a video or something on?
Yeah. We sponsored him to do some playtime because he was one of the first YouTubers to grab Industries of Titan back when we first launched, and we like him a lot. So we were like, hey,
Nice.
you want to do it again?
Awesome. Tic Tac Foe says load trash and ship, drop trash and lake. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Or load trash and ship and dump it over the Rebel City.
Yeah, exactly. Make them deal with it. Honestly. Okay, come on. Come on, workers. Let's go. I should take everybody off their dedicated tasks here.
The Trojan ship, yeah.
I'm just going to extract this one. I guess I could upgrade this one too.
I saw Mr. Quinn saying pollution should affect rebel citizens as it does yours. I feel like there was some rumblings in the dev team a while back as far as like weaponizing pollution. And I think that's
Oh yeah.
that's the thing. Again, like I'm fully outside of self games, so I'm very careful about making guarantees like this. But I do recall that being a consideration because you're right. Yeah, making fans just widens the depth of, or yes, deepens the uses for fans. Totally.
Yeah.
Sounds cool.
Yeah, and it definitely like makes another use for pollution too, right? Like I think as many uses as you can get out of one system, I think is the goal.
Yeah. Ooh, we can see the base.
Can we?
I think
There it
so.
is.
Is that not it? Yeah.
Okay, logistics.
So what were you with all the prioritization there, Marlon? What was happening? Talk me
What?
through it.
The prioritization. Oh yeah.
You were like, "God, dude, these employees are like doing stuff we don't need right now."
Yeah.
plan?
So if you click on I click on the prioritization button just to make sure that they get to that thing first. Just because I don't know. Just because this is a Ryan Clark move too. He likes to prioritize his roads first before he builds anything at the other end of them, just so that things are more efficient when you have a road nearby, right? So he makes sure to get the roads done quicker first. Is that what you're talking about?
Nice.
Was there something else that was?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, would you call it a hot tip, you think?
Oh, I could say that, but I wouldn't be able to say it as with as much gusto. There it is. That's what I'm talking about. That's a hot tip for you.
Hot tips.
Not to be confused with frosted tips. That's different. Is that also dating? Is that also dating? Is that also dating me? That's like a very 90s thing, right?
You have frosted tips?
Yeah, frosted tips.
I had frosted tips.
You did? Oh, nice. I think the most I ever did was the spiked hair with a mullet when I was a kid.
With a mullet.
Very nice.
Yeah, it was all the rage when I was in like grade 4. Yeah, spiked hair with a mullet. Yeah, I have some very funny school photos for sure, as I'm sure everybody does. You know, I want to see frosted tips. No, I didn't have frosted tips. System Chalk wants to know if you have frosted tips on your beard, Kevin.
No, the most I've done is my wife bought tiny Christmas baubles and hung them from my beard for
Oh my gosh.
a festive outfit. It was that plus an ugly Christmas sweater. It was very effective.
Amazing.
That's pretty
That
funny.
worked well.
Come on, guys. Come on.
Yeah, what's on the to-do list tomorrow? What do you got left?
I just gotta build. I'm gonna build another command center here, and that should get me in range with the of the rebel base here. Hopefully enough to dismantle their stuff. Sorry, PG stream.
You get one.
I get one. I think I said that before to you, so I'm over my limit.
Okay, you get 2.
Okay, thank you. Come on. Go. Wait, why are you guys taking roads? Why are you taking a road? Stop it. Oh, this is another reason why. Oh, another thing that Ryan Clark did is he only built one road at a time. I mean, that's really.
Yeah, they built the farther one first.
Yeah, why'd you do that? Okay, that's ridiculous. You.
It's okay. We hire them for their manual labor, not their brains.
That's right. But seriously, why aren't you building this? It's prioritized. Oh. This guy might be doing it? No, he's gonna go do the other job. Come on.
Can you check your minerals? Yeah, you don't have any more level 2s, which is why they're not doing it.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
That's how that works? Okay, now I got one. Go do it. I'm losing a lot of... Oh, my goodness, I'm losing a lot of citizens.
Oh my god,
Holy
you lost so many. Welcome.
Welcome to Titan. Oh my god. Okay. Do it. What time is it? Okay, we'll give this another 5 minutes and then we'll call it.
Yeah.
There we go.
Can continue this next time, perhaps.
Yeah. Oh shoot, I wasn't. Okay, yeah, there we go.
The Baguette Saga.
Yeah, that's right.
Trilogy.
Yeah.
There we go. Build that. Oh, TDQ, there's a tier 3 ship with a questionable sounding name. There is?
Oh, I know which one they're talking about. It's like I think it's a different language.
Oh, right.
But yeah, I have no idea how to pronounce it, and I'm not gonna try.
Right.
Yeah, there you go. Well, above my pay grade. Well, not above it, just parallel to my pay grade. It's not my call to decide names of ships. So I said in the chat that that occasionally we'll change lines on the day of recording. That's kind of one thing. Just as a person working on the project, occasionally a line will be spoken, and it may not really be. It may not sound like something the character would say. We just realized that kind of on the day. For example, in our peer, I think one of her lines was saying that tooltips are handy, and on the day of, I was like, it feels like she'd probably use a word like useful or helpful rather than handy, because in our peer is not really that colloquial with you. She's not that loose and casual with her speech. So change that. But also, yeah, they'll say certain lines. I'm like, wow, that definitely could be heard. If you weren't paying attention, it could just sound like they're swearing at you. So
Oh, right.
we'll swap certain words out here and there to, make it a little bit different, just safer.
What if they just are swearing at you?
Say again?
What if they are just swearing at you?
just I'm like, Lulu. What are you doing? You're almost there, Marlon.
Almost. I just want to try to get rid of this shipyard. And if I can do that, then we'll call it. Come on. Okay, I love the sounds that the construction things make when they retract.
Well, thanks, buddy. Here's a cool thing that people might not be aware of, but is a great example of like. Yes, here. Go ahead and do your thing. There you go.
Sorry, yeah, go for it.
So, if you go, just build something, Marlon. Build anything and go to normal speed 1. Like build something in your work. So build fast. Up pylon, sure. There you go. So zoom in at normal speed. And when the scaffolding goes up, it'll be full volume. And if you then go to full speed, like the triple speed, then what happens is the volume, the sounds are sped up, but also the volume on the sounds peters off over time. Because if you are going full speed, the specific sync and the specific sounds things are making are probably, assumably, not important to you as a player. I'll let it play. Go for it.
Oh, hang on. I'm just going to up the...
Oh, crank it up. Crank the SFX. There you
go. So good.
So go speed 1 for a bit, and then like 2 seconds, then go speed 3.
Okay. Oop.
And do your thing. Go speed 3. It's fine.
Oh, I see. Yeah. It tapers off.
Yeah. So the idea being that things that make a lot of noise, like I almost said outlets, energy bridges, for instance, they kind of like zap frequently, and zapping at high speed is annoying. So we just turn everything down because no one cares about the sounds things are making if they're going super fast speed.
That's awesome.
Get that turret, Marlon.
Ideally, no one should acknowledge that. No one should write us emails being like, "Good job."
But we did discover that, so we were going to acknowledge it now. So good job.
Thanks, buddy.
Good job.
Appreciate that. Appreciate the
Thumbs
time.
up.
That's great. I can get that turret too. Claim you. Dismantle. Oh yeah. Take that.
Oh, they're building something over there. They're like, better build something outside of their territory.
This better not be another turret. Okay, it's not. Okay, it's not good. Okay, well, I think we should maybe call it there.
Yeah, I think that's a good place to...
Cool.
Yeah, it's been good. Thanks, Kevin and Maddie, for hopping on the stream and joining me for this final stream to end the week of Titan launch.
Kevin, do you have anything you'd like to say before we head off?
Oh, cheers. I have a platform you're saying, right? I'm gonna use it. Yeah, so if folks aren't aware, I'm Kevin Regamy at Power Up Audio. We work with a variety of developers, Brace Yourself Games included. So we're doing the sound for Titan alongside Danny Baranowski on the music. And same thing goes for Phantom Brigade, although our Riley Koenig is working on the music for that one. So, but besides those ones, we also recently shipped Subnautica Below Zero with Unknown Worlds.
Oh, yeah.
And we are working on Darkest Dungeon 2 with Red Hook here in Vancouver. I'm doing a game called Tunic with a good mutual friend of Marlon here, who Marlon actually introduced that developer to us. That's you, buddy.
Oh yeah, that's right.
All you.
Tunic looks so cute.
Tunic is a little fox, little fox in a big world where he doesn't belong. And we're also doing Ruined King, a League of Legends story.
Yo.
What?
Yeah, you didn't know that one?
No.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, Joey's been at the helm on that one for a while. Joey Goddard on our team is heading up Ruined King. It's being done by Airship Syndicate, a development team in the States, and their previous projects were Darksiders Genesis and Battle Chasers Night War, for which we also handled audio things, so hence why we're doing the League stuff. Yeah, crazy, right? And then, of course, the last one that's maybe of note is Earthblade, which is ongoing, is from the Celeste developers.
Oh, right,
Their new thing that is not very known in the world yet. They merely did a what they called a vibe reveal, which was like some music and some concept art, and that's kind of it, and the name of the project. So more news forthcoming there when we have time. But
that's
yes,
exciting.
It's 5 of us over here, so we all kind of have our different focuses. Titan being mine. Titan and Tunic are my current focuses.
That's a hell of a roster.
Yeah, no kidding.
Hey, thanks, Maddie. Yeah, it's coming along. We've been really fortunate to make some good friends in the industry who are happy to have us along for the ride. So it's been great.
Awesome. Maddie, do you have any final words to say before we head off?
Nope. Just thanks for joining us. This was awesome, as usual.
Cool. Yeah, this was great. Thanks everybody for joining. Thanks everybody. I hope you enjoyed our hot tips that we gave out today, including this one that I just tried right now, which was the fuel bomb. I just built a fuel silo here, and then
I'm never gonna get sick of that.
That's so good. That's awesome. Yeah. Awesome. Cool. Thanks everybody for joining. Yeah, we'll be back doing our regular scheduled BYG thing next week on Monday. So we'll see you then. Take care, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.
Bye.